Some Acorn newspapers. Publishers of the Greenwich Post, New Canaan Advertiser, the Darien Times, the Ridgefield Press, the Weston Forum, the Wilton Bulletin, the Reading Pilot, the Lewisboro Ledger, the Monroe Courier, the Eastern Courier, the Trumbull Times, Fairfield Sun, Shelton Herald, the Stratford Star, the Milford Mirror, and the Valley Gazette.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on HANradio.com.
And we're back with more of your coffee break on the road. Well, I
we
meant
haven't
we're
even started.
Where are we?
I meant we're back today because all this week we've been on the road in Vermont, and today we're at the Orvis Flagship Store in beautiful Manchester, Vermont. It's just gorgeous
It
here,
is.
Josh.
It's great. I mean, we have the all these beautiful green mountains surrounding us.
Yes.
Everywhere you look up in the sky, it's much nicer than seeing tall buildings,
Yeah.
I gotta say.
And we're going to be bringing you a mix of Vermont and Connecticut news today. And later on today, the Yankee Fisherman's coming on, and he has a lot of great guests lined
A
up.
very special Yankee fisherman.
Yeah.
Did you hear Rob Adams?
I can't resist.
He's very excited for this. Our editorial director, John Kovach.
We had to talk to him when we first got here and have that talk where maybe your parents had it with you as well. When we get to Disney World, you pick your first ride you're going on. Space Mountain as soon as it opens, guys.
So we have, as you can see on our external camera showing, it's very cool. They got all these fish in here, and John can maybe come on later and describe what the fish are, but they're these gigantic fish swimming around, and you can feed them, and it's just this gorgeous spot.
This is really a beautiful spot. Oh, my
It
goodness.
really is.
So nice. Well, Josh, getting to some news this morning. What's going on?
Let's start off with some Connecticut news. Police are investigating after a man was shot in the chest Wednesday night at the corner of North Main Street and 4th Street in Ansonia. Police said the 21-year-old man is in critical condition, and the victim was identified Thursday morning, that's this morning, as Carnegie Lamoth of Bridgeport. Ansonia Police spokesman Lieutenant Andrew Coda said it happened around 8:30 p.m. during some sort of disturbance. Officers arrived to see the victim lying on the ground near the Ansonia Mini Market at 147 North Main Street. The victim was taken to Yale New Haven Hospital for treatment. His condition is unknown. Did I do that again?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Josh.
Sure.
All right, well, moving on to some Vermont news. Lawyers for a Vermont man who told police he urged his girlfriend to jump off a cliff in a drug-induced haze because of an imagined bear attack are attempting to have one of his charges dismissed. Lucas Gringus pleaded not guilty last year to attempted first-degree murder and other offenses. The Burlington Free Press reports that attorneys for the 29-year-old Milton, Vermont man have submitted a motion to dismiss the attempted murder charge based on altered language in the formal court papers. They also argued that statements made by his girlfriend, LaDonna Merriman, to law enforcement are inadmissible. Merriman was found dead in her home in February. Authorities say drugs caused Gringus to hallucinate a bear attack, and he urged Merriman to jump off a cliff.
New Haven police back in Connecticut are asking for the public's help in finding who fatally shot a 35-year-old man on Wednesday night. Shortly before 10:30 p.m. last night, officers were dispatched to Boosh Lane in the Eastern Street area of New Haven on a report of gunfire. Officer David Hartman, that's according to Officer David Hartman, they found Lawrence Allen Atkins of Plymouth Street in New Haven, who Hartman said had been shot in the shoulder. He was rushed to Yale New Haven Hospital, where he was pronounced dead within an hour. That's according to police. Atkins was alone when the police found him, and no witnesses have come forward with information, Hartman said. There is no description of the shooter or any getaway car, police said. Anyone who witnessed the shooting or has information that might help police is asked to call detectives at 203-946-6304, and callers may be anonymous.
Thanks, Josh. Well, police say former James Bond actor Pierce Brosnan was stopped at a Vermont he was carrying. Burlington Police Department Lieutenant Sean Burke says airport authorities told him about Brosnan's encounter with Transportation Security Administration agents. He says Brosnan was encountered by TSA at one of their checkpoints and was allowed to proceed after the issue was resolved. He said Tuesday that police wouldn't be called to Burlington International International Airport for such an incident, and they don't have a report on it. A TSA agent said at 007 in movie Goldeneye and Die Another Day. He also starred in the Thomas Crown Affair and Mrs. Doubtfire. His publicist hasn't returned messages seeking comment. I love the movie selections that we went with.
And
Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Your coffee break time is 11:06.
Days after a Woodbridge, Connecticut man died when his car struck a runaway bull near Killington, a dog missing since the crash was found safe, according to the Rutland Daily Herald. 64-year-old John Bellis of Woodbridge was pronounced dead at the scene later Friday when the vehicle he was driving west on Route 4 struck a large Scottish Highlander bull that had escaped from its pasture. After hitting the bull, the vehicle continued to travel westbound and went down a small grassy hill before colliding with a tree. 60-year-old Catherine Berry, also of Woodbridge, suffered a wrist injury. Members of the Bellis family traveled to Killington to find Leo, the golden retriever that fled the crash that killed his owner. That's according to the Rutland Daily Herald. The dog returned to the scene of the crash when Belly's family put its blanket and toys there. Jeez. Kate.
Thanks, Josh. Well, moving back to some Vermont news. Up the road in Rutland, Vermont, the city is setting a policy on social media. The only question is who it will apply to. Mayor Christopher Loris said this week he intends to adopt a policy for city employees based on a model from the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. He said he also hoped to see it apply to elected officials. The Rutland's Board of Aldermen voted Monday to send the latter issue to the General Committee, which has scheduled a meeting for next week, according to the Rutland Herald. Loris said the push was not prompted by any specific incident regarding use of social media. He said the issue is something the city probably needs to deal with eventually. With the growth of social media websites, there needs to be an effort to make sure the messaging that's going out is appropriate and accurate. The city public works, recreation, fire, and police departments all have Facebook accounts, and recreation and public works are also on Twitter. The mayor's office also has a Facebook account, which Loris uses as a one-way information distribution channel. Laura said he does not intend to restrict speech on personal social media accounts. He said individuals can certainly voice their own opinions, provided they are their personal opinions and not made through the prism of being a city employee. Coffee break time is 11:08.
Darien selectmen back in Connecticut are considering converting Darien's 843 street lights to LED fixtures after a presentation delivered by ESCO Energy Services at this week's Board of Selectmen meeting. ESCO Representative Jack Hanley provided an overview of the conversion process, which he said could reduce the town's monthly streetlight spending by 77.8% based on Eversource Energy's current rates. In addition to being more cost-effective, the LED fixture could be outfitted with additional technology to give the town greater control over the streetlight network. Novita Technologies CEO Jovi Rayo joined Hanley to describe some of the specialized features that could be implemented into the streetlights, including wireless internet or antenna service for cellular devices. The estimated cost of the installation would be $348,000 after rebates for replacement of the 843 lights without the added control features, while the model with controls would cost $400,000. Considering the projected $8,000 itself and the LED expected to have a 20 years compared to the 4 to 6 year expectancy of standard lights. In addition to consuming less energy, LED lights give off a higher quality of light than the high-pressure sodium bulbs typically used in streetlights. Most notably, LED lights give off white light in comparison to the orange glow of the sodium bulbs.
Thanks, Josh. Well, as we said, if you're listening to us on HANradio.com, we are live in Manchester, Vermont. We're at the Orvis Flagship Store right now. The Orvis Outlet's just a little ways down the road, and the American Fly Fishing Museum's right next door.
There's
And
a rod shop
we're going to
back
be here all
there.
day. You can watch us, of course, at hanradio.com/livestream or at vermontnews-guide.com. Having a good time so far. This week in Vermont has been a blast.
It has. It's been a great time, and we really have to thank our friends at the Vermont News Guide, particularly our old friends from Connecticut, Jessica and Ian Murrin, for hosting us here and being very welcoming. You know, as Kate and I barged into the office this morning saying, we need to use your printer, stealing paper, and all sorts of things, and everyone, watching Marty Hersom fly the HAN drone.
Yeah.
all over the. Might be a new story about drone regulations in Vermont by the time we leave this week.
Yeah, and in Manchester Center, everyone's setting up the sidewalk sales.
Oh, it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to be checking those out later after
Yes,
we're off
we
the
will.
air. But right now, it's partly cloudy in Manchester, Vermont. The high today is 73. Tonight, a low of 52.
Well,
Nice.
a little cooler than back home.
Yeah. But it's 11:11. We're going to step out, take a break, and we'll be back with more after this.
Your child has fallen and broken his arm. You need to see an orthopedist fast. Think Coastal Ortho Express in Norwalk. Don't wait hours in the ER. Save a trip and money by going straight to an orthopedic specialist at Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care in Norwalk. No appointment necessary. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, 203-845-2070. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or call 203-845-2070. Fast.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, a different theme every night, plus top women's tennis. It's the 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies. Be there as some of the world's best competed at the largest pro tennis event in New England. And catch famous players John McEnroe, James Blake, and more in the men's Legends event presented by PowerShare Series. It all adds up to one legendary week, August 21st through the 29th at the Connecticut Tennis Center in New Haven. Get your tickets at ctopen.org.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve extraordinary. 546-6996.com.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
It's 11:15 on this special coffee break, live from the Orvis Flagship Store in Manchester, Vermont. It is gorgeous here. We're having a great time so far. We're going to be here all day. And in just a bit, we're going to bring on the Yankee fisherman, John Kovach. Is that the sound of a... Mm-hmm. Nice, Rob. Nice, Rob Adams. Very appropriate.
Is that what you hear when you sleep, John?
I wish. I wish.
Be a good ringtone for you.
No, actually, I hear my email and text alerts going off all night long with problems. That's the big issue.
But, John, I know this is a big day for you, and you finally joined us in Vermont. You had some work to do in Connecticut before coming up here, so we're going to chat with you in a bit.
Yep.
But since Don Ang is back in Connecticut, Rob, I know we have a couple interesting, worth mentioning history items today.
Yeah, we really do, Kate. And good morning, everyone. A couple of quickies for you. It was on this date in 1890 that the electric chair was used for the first time to not execute Josh Fisher, nor was it operated by Josh Fisher. He wanted to, but no, to execute a convicted murderer at Auburn State Prison in New York. Also in 1890, Cy Young made his major league debut with the Cleveland Spiders of the National League.
Making hitters wish they were in the electric chair.
It's always nice to be compared to a murderer.
Wow.
That's the nicest thing Rob
You are
Adams
well-liked.
has said to me all week.
You are well
I had
liked.
fun with you, Josh. All right, 1978, Pope Paul VI died at the age of 80. Let's see, we will jump forward and actually jump backwards to go to August 6, 1945, which really turns into the highlight in history, as on that day, the United States dropped an atomic bomb at Hiroshima, Japan, that instantly killed an estimated 66,000 people in the first use of a nuclear weapon in warfare, and we can give you a little audio. This is President Harry S. Truman.
The world will note that the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, a military base. We won the race of discovery against the Germans. We have used it in order to shorten the agony of war. It destroyed Japan's power to make war.
So there you go, President Truman on this day in 1945. A quick look over at sports for you. The Vermont Lake Monsters of the New York Penn Baseball League knocked off the Staten Island Yankees 9-4, breaking a 3-game losing streak for the Lake Monsters. They had, in fact, lost 2 of 3 to the Yankees. And the Vermont Mountaineers will begin, in NACBL action, will begin their quest to win the Northern Division Championship. They will play the North Adams Steeple Cats in, I believe, at Recreation Field, which is up here in Vermont, and that is just in a couple of hours, Game 1 tonight. So with sports and history, that's just little old me. I throw it back to you guys across the way.
Thanks, Rob. And as we said, we're joined now by the Yankee Fisherman. John,
Hello.
it's an exciting day for you. We're here at the Orvis Flagship Store. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous here. I driving up last night and crossing into Vermont, and you're looking at the mountains and the valley, and you're just like, wow. You're speechless. You really are. And we're going to talk a lot about the heritage and history of Orvis and of fly fishing in this area.
So is Orvis really like fly fishing? That's the focus?
Fly fishing, the primary focus, and wing shooting, small game, bird hunting, sporting clays, skeet, stuff like that. But primarily, it's fly fishing, and they've gone on to fashion, house, home goods, decorative stuff.
Right.
I mean, really, it's kind of a department store in there, because you do have your men's clothing and your fly fishing and your wing shooting off to the side. Upstairs is all women's wear and home goods, like decorative,
right?
All tying into the outdoors theme.
They do have some really nice clothes there.
They
nice
have
button
awesome,
downs,
yes.
and you know that.
They make great clothes. I have a number of the pullovers, which are very comfortable and very sturdy. A couple of the zip-up sweaters, that quarter zip. That it's good stuff. It really is. We're going to focus on fishing today. We may have some guests, we hope, from some of the other aspects of what Orvis does, but we're going to have someone from the fly fishing school, which I took years ago up in Mount Snow. We're going to have Casting for Recovery.
Oh, great. And they've been a guest before, right?
The executive director was a guest before. And we're going to have somebody from the neighbor here at Orvis, the American Museum of Fly Fishing, which is right next door and is having its big summer festival. This one of the things way over. And they're going to have somebody with a 3D printer who's going to create the world's lightest fly reel.
Oh,
interesting.
So
cool.
I'm very curious as to that. And also there was talk that one of the tires is going to tie the Vermont State Fly. I'm kind of curious to find out what that is.
Vermont
neat.
State Fly. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, there's kids and families running around in the background because this store just sits on a beautiful piece of property.
It's a beautiful piece of property. Basically going through the store here, you've got trout swimming pool here that extends into the store. Inside they have a placard that explains, a picture and explains each of the trout and their domain and their importance in the ecosystem. And believe me, I'd love to hook into one about the size of the ones in this pool.
Right. It looks like then you could go and try out some fly or some rods in the back there. We saw a gentleman doing that.
Yes, they have ponds here for
yard.
casting, and that gentleman was buying a large saltwater rod because I happened to be in there when he was getting set up. He was buying an 11 weight, which you would use for a tarpon or some other saltwater big game. And then there's a stream that extends beyond this along historic Route 7. And my understanding is that they use that for the school as well, and they'll line and practice casting into that.
Cool.
So, I mean, they really have a place for everything. And what I'm interested in, too, if I can get into it, the rod factory is right behind us here.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's really like a one-stop shop for all your fishing interests around here.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It's the Yankee fisherman of fishing shops.
Yes.
It is. We just cover everything. But I'm really looking forward to having the guests that we do have. And I want to thank the guys at Orvis for hosting us here. Really looking forward to this edition of Yankee Fisherman.
Yeah, so you're going to come up at noon today.
We're going to come on at noon.
Yeah.
We'll talk fishing. We'll talk some other things. And
Rob's going to be joining you at noon.
This, for John, is the Cooperstown equivalent.
It's up there. It really is.
Has to be. I mean,
it's up there.
It's what it felt like for me to be in Cooperstown that weekend.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, we are coming up on 11:22. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back with some more news on your coffee break, both Vermont and Connecticut, because we are live in Manchester, Vermont. So that's coming up after this.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Located in the heart of picturesque downtown Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street, Colby's is the area's premier retailer for blinds, shades, shutters, and draperies, and is one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby's also carries an extensive line of decorative fabrics including Schumacher, Durley, Tebow, and more. Or browse over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kycote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersumsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Hersum Acorn Radio.
Welcome back to your coffee break on HANradio.com, streaming live video at HANradio.com/livestream. We're also on the Vermont News Guide website. That's vermontnews-guide.com today, along with AJ Simonowski and Rob Adams and Kate Chaplinsky. I'm Josh Fisher, and we are at the Orvis Flagship Store here in in Manchester, Vermont.
Pork chops and applesauce.
And, this is now day 3 of our kind of, not quite marathon broadcast, but long broadcast road trip, meeting some new and fun people. We were in Bennington for a day. On Tuesday, we were at the Vermont News Guide yesterday broadcasting for a few hours, and today we're at Orvis. I think tomorrow we're going to be back at the News Guide before we pack everything back up and head back down to the Nutmeg State.
Yeah. And this is it for Kate this week, isn't it? No tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, I have to leave. Yes.
There's no tomorrow for Kate every day around. That's how she lives her life.
Hashtag Carpe Diem. Yes, I have a wedding to attend in Connecticut, so I've got to head back tomorrow.
All right.
We have to write her maid of honor speech.
Yes.
Too.
Tonight, I think when we're at our bonfire at the Wilburton, we're you can all help me write.
We got one of those magnetic word things that you stick on the fridge, and that's how we're gonna write her speech. Everybody's gonna do a line.
Oh, that's perfect.
All right.
Why don't we do some news, Kate?
Yeah,
What's
let's
going
get back
on
to some news this morning. Back in Connecticut, a Bridgeport man is facing charges this morning after police say he threw a cup of hot coffee on a Derby woman who refused to let him cut into her lane on I-95. The Connecticut Post reports that Alfredo Weissman was arrested after he threw the hot coffee at the woman who would not let him squeeze in front of her near exit 26 Wednesday. The woman was not hurt, but she pulled over and called police.
Wow, that's
Coffee
a new
break
form
time.
of road rage I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, back up here in Vermont, Bennington College earned high marks in the Princeton Review survey of 380 top colleges, taking top awards in many array categories. For the survey, the Princeton Review asked 136,000 college students to rate their schools. Bennington was named first for Best College Dorms, second for Best Classroom Experience, and professors get high marks. They also got second for that, and third for Best College Theater. True to Bennington College's reputation, it was named second for Most Liberal Students, third for Birkenstock-wearing, tree-hugging, clove-smoking vegetarians.
Is this real?
Yeah, I wouldn't make up news, Kate. And eighth for Least Religious Students, but also 10th for Most Politically Active Students. This was in the Bennington banner today.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Janet Late-Marson, the Vice President for Communications at Bennington College, pointed out that Bennington does not use the term dorms, but calls its on-campus homes houses. They include large common rooms with features like a fireplace and a piano. Wow, you imagine waking up, coming out there and there's some dude playing a piano.
Yeah.
Playing you in.
That's how I prefer to live my life and enter rooms.
The houses don't have resident advisors like many college dorms. This is an interesting fact. Instead, there are chairmen in each house who organize events and act as liaisons with the college.
That sounds really fun.
It is. It sounds like a nice liberal arts
Great
college.
School. All right. Well, the Connecticut NAACP held a press conference in Reading Wednesday to officially announce it is conducting its own investigation into the death of attorney Gugsa Abraham Abe DeBella. The 35-year-old DeBella was found in his overturned car on April 5th, 2014, around 1:40 in the morning with a single gunshot wound to the back of the head. The medical examiner's office ruled it a suicide, but members of the NAACP and DeBella's family consider it suspicious and said they doubt he killed himself. Presidents of the Connecticut NAACP and the Norwalk branch held a press conference Wednesday evening on the town green with DeBella's two sisters and parents to announce their own formal investigation. The family has hired forensic professionals and attorneys to look into DeBella's death. The case is still under investigation by the state's attorney's office in Danbury. Coffee break time is 11:30. We have a guest on tap, Josh.
We do.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
I thought
very
the guest
excited
wasn't
about
here.
that. He is. He's just arrived.
Good.
You didn't notice AJ's sign? It was a very helpful sign.
No, I don't speak AJ sign language.
All right. Well,
Oh.
we're going to just take a very quick break, bring our guest on, and we'll be back with more coffee break after this.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season. And we are rated #1 on the Knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Mango next. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at stewartsmarket.com.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to Coffee Break, live from the Orvis Flagship Store in Manchester, Vermont, along with Kate Chaplinsky. I'm Josh Fisher, and we are joined by our first guest of the day. It's Joe Hurley, who's the executive director of the Bart J. Ruggieri Adaptive Sports Center up here in Vermont, which sounds like a pretty neat thing. So you guys help out people who amputees or what's it?
We work with all sorts of different types of disabilities. Everything from a cognitive disability like autism, Down syndrome, to physical disabilities like spinal cord injuries, amputees, vision impairments, birth defects, spinal bifida, cerebral palsy, and everything. So we have a wide range of people that we work with.
Which is so great. So you help get everybody out there.
Basically, we try to, someone once said, equal the playing field, so that everybody has an opportunity to do the same thing in sports.
And what are some of the sports that you help people with disabilities enjoy?
Our primary sport is skiing, snowboarding during the wintertime, and we do that up at Brownlee Ski Area.
And that's where you all are located, right?
That's where our main office is.
Yeah.
During the summertime, we do some hiking, some cycling, some kayaking. We're in the process of putting together a golf program for people with disabilities equally as well. So, yeah, we're very active. We try to become, we just try to be able to incorporate anything that people want to do.
Right. And what I think is fascinating is a lot of times maybe somebody with one of these disabilities, wheelchair bound or whatever, they maybe don't feel like that opportunity is available to them. So do you have to kind of change somebody's mindset too when they come see you guys?
Yeah, a lot of times, we give them the opportunity to be able to try it to see that they can do it. We've always had a motto of, the only limits that someone has are the limits that they set themselves. And we let them set the limits. If they only want to be able to just do it occasionally once in a while, cool. If they want to be able to take it to the extreme of being on the Paralympic team, we'll go there. We have that technology and stuff to be able to get somebody there.
Right. Joe, what got you involved in this?
My daughter. My daughter is a paraplegic. She was born with a birth defect, and she just kind of. I've always made a promise to her that whatever she wanted to try to do, she could do. So we did, and she's a very active person, and she does a lot of skiing and cycling in summer and karate and stuff, and it kind of got me involved in it, and I've just been going with it for a very long time.
Wow. And you have a background in ski instruction, right?
Yeah, my background in ski instruction dates back probably a long time, about 24, 25 years of teaching, and of course I skied way before that equally as well. I'm on education staff with Professional Ski Instructors of America for the adaptive, which makes it nice, and it kind of gives us enable a way to stay on top of the current ways of teaching.
So you must have a very, highly trained staff to be able to work with such a range of different disabilities.
We have all our staff is all volunteer based.
Wow.
And we spend a lot of time working with the volunteers to give them the tools that they need so they can go out and make it happen. We have one other paid staff person who's an administrative person, and she's in the field often enough. As a matter of fact, that's where she is today. But they go through a lot of trainings, and we try to make sure that they have what they need to be able to do.
Yeah, and I imagine it's very rewarding for them as well.
Yeah, there's a rewarding side of it.
Yeah.
It's really kind of cool. It's to be able to take somebody and teach them how to ski, and then all of a sudden, I think, for me, the reward is to see mom and dad go ski with them.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, that's
amazing.
Be together
cool.
as a family.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was going to say, are there any stories that stand out to you, maybe recently or just, in your time?
It was kind of interesting. We had this little 3-year-old started last year, as myself, I gave it to a different person to teach, who's actually in a piece of sit-down equipment, and I was having her teach, and the kid cried. I mean, cried. That's all he did, and for the whole season. And then finally, at the end of the season, I went to watch, see what was going on, and the little kid was making turns by himself. And he was recommended to us by a orthopedic over in Brattleboro or someplace. And he was doing really, and Mom came up to me, and she kind of said, she kind of figured it was going to be a one-time deal, and that's it. And now, they can do it now together, and that just kind of hung in there with me, so it was kind of cool.
It is incredible. What are some of the most popular sports that you guys help with?
I think it's skiing and snowboarding for us, and then we're getting heavily into the cycling. We a lot of people seem to be interested in doing that and trying to get some of that going. So,
Great.
What sort of events do you guys organize?
We do some fundraisers. One of our primary events is our Wounded Military Heroes Weekend. We bring in between 15 and 18 veterans that have been injured in the current conflicts. Those injuries can sustain anything from PTSD to TBIs or traumatic brain injuries to amputations or something in this nature. We bring them in. We have a free weekend for them and one family member. We do housing, which is some of the great people of the Manchester, Peru, Londonderry areas that open up their homes to them, which is really cool.
Wow.
They go there, they spend the weekend. They come to us at Bromley. They ski, snowboard. It's an opportunity for them to get away and to not think about what's going on in their life. Right. So, and then we also do we have some fundraising events and stuff that we do. We do a cycling event, we do a golf event, and that sort of stuff.
So it sounds like you get the community involved also.
We try to get as much community involvement as we can.
That's great.
It's a running theme up here.
Yes.
In Vermont.
Right?
Yeah, we've been noticing that a lot.
Which is great.
And you mentioned a 3-year-old. So what's the age range that you work with?
I say our age range is from 3 to as old as 3, as young as 83. I had a guy that I used to ski with Parkinson's. He was 83 years old, and it was just a lot of fun to ski with.
That is so cool.
Wow. So how often do you get out skiing?
I'm usually on the hill almost every day.
Wow.
Good for you.
I get out and, if nothing else, to be able to help the students or see them or whatever. Yeah. But, doing the administrative side, which is I take care of that a little later in the day. But I try to get out as often as I can.
Now, is it just about the sports, or is it also about, when you're off the slopes, what you're teaching people?
What we're trying to do basically is we give them a lifelong sport or an activity that we can teach them to become a lifelong sport. We feel that those sports, being active in life, being active will help, build self-esteem. I've seen some kids have come to us that had very low self-esteem, and by the time we got done with a season or two, all of a sudden they're starting to do things more in their local schools and stuff. They're starting to come out of their shells. So I really feel that, some of the stuff that we do helps to
get some confidence,
instill some of that.
That's great.
How can people find out more about the BART Center?
We have a website, which is awesome. We're also on Facebook, and if people, we're always looking for volunteers. Come find us. And be happy to share.
Cool. And it's just
the website's.
Thanks so much for joining.
much for having me.
Now and come back on and use.
Call us and your child day. 911 characters. 911 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
We are back live out back of the Orvis Flagship Store here in Manchester, Vermont. Josh,
Kate.
It's a little partly cloudy right now, but it's still a beautiful day.
It is. It's great. It's I can really get used to this weather. And we got to say too, we don't have him on camera, but Ian Murrin, who has worked for Hersom Acorn for many years, just looks like such the Vermonter now.
Oh, totally.
Up here, he's got this nice thick beard going, and he has a clever T-shirt on.
Yeah, camera around his neck, and yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun to see him and his lovely wife Jessica, the general manager of the Vermont News Guide. Ian still does a lot of work. He still is a Connecticut.
He still knows everything that's going on in Connecticut.
He's still
news.
a Connecticut employee. Lays
Yeah.
out a lot of our papers. Does photo work and everything. But from that cool old house that the Vermont News Guide moved into.
Great location
earlier
right
this year.
in Manchester Center.
Yes.
Well, Josh, what else is going on in Vermont news?
In Vermont news, Keurig Green Mountain CEO Brian Kelly told analysts late yesterday that he was not satisfied with the company's third quarter financial results. The Burlington Free Press reports that Keurig, which has its corporate headquarters in Waterbury, Vermont, had $970 million in net sales in the quarter, down 5% from 2014. Brewer sales, in particular, took a significant hit, down 18%.
Located in the heart of
you guys, we
picturesque
got
downtown
some.
Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street.
That ad just really wanted to play.
What would a remote be without a few technical difficulties, Kate? Because we have to go and set up all this equipment. Do every day, then take it down, and who knows what's going on underneath that tent that we're facing. But anyway, getting back to Keurig. So Keurig will be cutting 330 jobs over the next 3 years, the largest job cut in the company's history. That's according to Suzanne DuLong, who's Vice President of Corporate Communications. Kelly said that Keurig would, quote, right-size our organization to adapt to a rapidly evolving marketplace as part of a multi-year productivity program. We have confidence in the long-term outlook for the Keurig system, Kelly said. DuLong told the Burlington Free Press in an email that Keurig would be reducing its North American workforce by roughly 5%, or about 330 employees, as we mentioned earlier, to generate about $300 million in cost savings over the next 3 years. DuLong could not say how many of those jobs would be cut in Vermont. So Kelly said he expects to install a base of Keurig brewers to grow by 10% in 2015, which he characterized as healthy growth for most products, but disappointing for Keurig, given that the company's brewer has grown an average of 20 to 30% over the past several years. Kelly remained committed to ultimately growing the installed base of Keurig brewers to 50 million households.
Wow. All right, well, going back to some Connecticut news, a subway car from ground zero of the terrorist attacks of 9/11 is arriving at the Shoreline Trolley Museum in East Haven this morning, escorted by first responders. Car 745, donated to the museum by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, was parked in the PATH station under the World Trade Center on the morning of September 11th, 2001, and later excavated intact from a cast iron tunnel. Since then, it has been sitting in Hangar 17 at the Kennedy International Airport. A ceremony will mark the arrival of car 745 at the town green. That started at 11:15 this morning. The car is scheduled to be given a police and fire escort, including back at 17. Upon its arrival, the subway car will be placed on a platform for a short presentation at the entrance to the museum. Coffee break time.
My news. We're out of Vermont news. Give me that back.
It's the end of the hour. You recap. You recap.
We have that on video.
Let's recap some of the top
of Kate
headlines.
stealing the news out of my hand.
You can't handle it.
I can't handle the news. Lawyers for a Vermont man who told police he urged his girlfriend to jump off a cliff in a drug-induced haze because of an imagined bear attack are attempting to have one of his charges dismissed. Lucas Gringus pleaded not guilty last year to attempted first-degree murder and other offenses. The Burlington Free Press reports that attorneys for the 29-year-old Milton, Vermont man have submitted a motion to dismiss the attempted murder charge based on altered language in the formal court papers. They also argued that statements made by his girlfriend, LaDonna Merriman, to law enforcement are inadmissible. Merriman was found dead in her home in February. Authorities say drugs caused Gringus to hallucinate a bear attack, and he urged Merriman to jump off a cliff. Kate?
Well, Josh, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, police are investigating an armed robbery that happened early Monday morning. A 25-year-old woman from Stratford told police she was dropping her son off at her mother's Arthur Street residence. She said she was in the driveway when a man approached the driver's side door and demanded the woman's purse. She surrendered the purse, and the suspect reportedly fled. The purse was later recovered with all of its contents except some $60 in cash. The suspect is described as 5 feet 9 inches tall, a black male wearing a black mask, a black sweater, and black sweatpants. Bridgeport police are asking the public to contact them with any information regarding this incident at 203-576-1311.
Police say former James Bond actor Pierce Bronson was stopped at a Vermont airport security checkpoint because of a knife he was carrying. Burlington Police Department Lieutenant Sean Burke says airport authorities told him about Bronson's encounter with the TSA agents. He says Bronson was encountered by TSA at one of their checkpoints and was allowed to proceed after the issue was resolved. He said Tuesday the police wouldn't be called to Burlington International Airport for such an incident, and they don't have a report on it, but a TSA agent said he hadn't heard about it. The Irish-American actor, of course, as you know, played the secret agent 007 in movies including GoldenEye and Die Another Day. It's too bad Q couldn't come up with something for him.
Wait, was he in Mrs. Doubtfire, too?
He wasn't Mrs. Doubtfire.
You were going to just skip that over?
I was going to skip over that. That's what I remember seeing. Mrs. Doubtfire. Remember he played Sally Field's love
boyfriend.
Interest, drive-by fruiting. He was a victim of a drive-by fruiting.
Boy, that's a deep reference.
We're getting deep here in Vermont. We feel much
are.
more, in touch with ourselves since we got here.
I go all the way back to Remington Steele with him on NBC.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's actually,
right.
yeah.
1980.
I had a crush on him.
I just remember seeing that Mrs. Doubtfire, and then one of my friend's dad saying, "Oh, he's going to be the next James Bond." He replaced Dalton, I believe.
Yeah,
right.
He was pretty good
it was
as
like,
it is.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
What else is going on, Kate? Oh, well, actually, while we got Rob here,
Yes.
What's the weather going to be like today, Rob?
It's a beautiful day. Partly sunny, a high near 74 with a west wind 7 to 9. If it gusts over 10, we start grabbing onto these tents. Mostly cloudy with a low around 52 tonight. And by the way, was last night not fantastic?
Oh, the weather was amazing.
Oh, it dropped so low. It was in the low 50s and really a comfortable night.
Yeah, I was actually shivering for a little bit when I was outside.
Yeah, it was.
Which is something that hasn't happened in quite a long time.
Yeah, with you guys down at that wonderful dinner that you were at, I was worried about you when it started pouring rain.
We were sitting outside.
That's what I thought.
At first, we're like, "This is fine." It's
and
just
people
a
walk by,
light
they're like, "Oh,
rain."
you guys are great. You guys don't care about the rain, and we're eating this amazing farm-to-table vegetarian meal." And then all of a sudden, it started raining very hard, and we
Yeah.
found a table inside.
And a few hundred feet
And
away,
all was well.
a few hundred feet away, Sean, AJ, and I were on the deck of our villa, and I looked at AJ and went, "Oh no." It's not going well over at dinner.
Oh no, the rain could not. There was no raining on that event. It was still pretty great.
It was very cool.
It was cool.
Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high near 76, a calm wind. Friday night, mostly cloudy, a low near 54. To the weekend, mostly sunny, 77. Saturday, 78, mostly sunny. Sunday, this is all up here, by the way, mostly sunny, a high near 79. This is all for Manchester and Bennington, where it is 71 degrees under partly cloudy skies on a beautiful Thursday morning. Coffee break time, 11:50.
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, switching back to some Connecticut news, a Ridgefield resident remains concerned that the water at Martin Park Beach made her son and other children sick last week, but town officials report they don't think the pond was the cause. The children began vomiting and running fevers after swimming at the pond on Wednesday, according to Magdalena Fincham of Florida Road in Ridgefield. She said she contacted the local health department and was not satisfied no warnings were placed. She said the overwhelming number of children who have become sick seem to at least warrant a warning to the members that there may be a problem. Not to cause a public panic, she said, but to put the members on notice so that they may make an informed decision as to whether or not to swim there. Health department officials said it rained heavily since then, so whatever the woman believed in the pond has been washed away. In the meantime, Backridge children becoming ill, but it was apparently not from the pond water. No lifeguards or adults got sick. No calls were left at the health department over the weekend. The Parks and Recreation Department was also on top of the situation, saying it must have been something else that made the boys sick, not the water. The Parks and Recreation Department issued the following statement Wednesday afternoon, saying, quote, Ridgefield Parks and Recreation would like to let everyone know that Martin Park Beach is safe to swim in. Aqua Environmental Lab has conducted 3 tests on 3 different days, and it has tested negative for E. coli bacteria. The latest test was done on Tuesday, August 4th. The health department has alerted Parks and Rec that there is a virus going around in the area that is not related to Martin Park Beach. Coffee break time is 11:51.
Kind of ruin your summer. Huh?
Well, there is this little stomach bug going around too.
That's true. That's true. Oh, okay. Anyway, well, up the road here, Kate, in Rutland, Vermont, the city is setting a policy on social media. The only question is who it will apply to. Mayor Christopher Loris said this week he intends to adopt a policy for city employees based on a model from the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. He said he also hoped to see it apply to elected officials. Rutland's Board of Aldermen voted Monday to send the latter issue to the General Committee. Loris said the push prompted by any specific incident regarding use of social media. This issue is something the city probably needs to deal with eventually, he said, adding that with the growth of social media websites, there needs to be an effort to make sure the messaging that's going out is appropriate and accurate. The city public works, recreation, fire, and police departments all have Facebook accounts, and recreation and public works are also on Twitter. The mayor's office also has a Facebook account, which Loris uses as a one-way information distribution channel, he said. Loris added that he does not intend to restrict speech on personal social media accounts. Individuals can certainly voice their own opinions, he said, provided they are their personal opinions and not made through the prism of being a city employee.
Obviously, that issue is coming up in
it's
every
going
town.
up every yeah.
In Trumbull, it comes up all the time what town officials post on their personal Facebook and social media. So it's an interesting
little
discussion.
Issues like that seem to come up in Trumbull.
Always, it is. It's an interesting place.
It
it's
sure
very
is.
political.
Yes,
but also very lovely in many ways.
Oh, it is.
And
yes.
and speaking of Trumbull, we're just moving back to Connecticut. Police are investigating after a man was shot in the chest Wednesday night at the corner of North Main Street and 4th Street in Ansonia. Police said the 21-year-old man is in critical condition. He was identified this morning as Carnegie Lamoth of Bridgeport. Ansonia Police spokesman Lieutenant Andrew Cota said it happened around 8:30 at night during some sort of disturbance. Officers arrived to see the victim lying on the ground near the Ansonia Mini Market at 147 North Main Street. The victim was taken to Yale New Haven Hospital for treatment. His condition is unknown. Police are searching for a suspect and hope to interview witnesses. Coffee break time is 11:53.
Bennington College earned high marks in the Princeton Review survey of 380 top colleges, taking top awards in an array of categories. Some of the more straight-up awards for the survey. Princeton, by the way, they ask 136,000 college students to rate their schools, and Bennington was named first for Best College Dorms, second for Best Classroom Experience, and their professors get high marks. They also finished second for that, and third for Best College Theater. True to Bennington College's reputation, it was named second for most liberal students, third for Birkenstock-wearing, tree-hugging, clove-smoking vegetarians, and eighth for least religious students, but also 10th for most politically active students. And so anyway, one thing we do want to point out is Bennington does not refer to its dorms as dorms. They refer to them as houses.
Cool.
And they don't have RAs. Instead, they have these chairmen who they elect and organize events and act as liaisons with the college.
Isn't that special?
Isn't it? I love that category. Birkenstock wearing, tree-hugging,
that's a
club-smoking
pretty great
vegetarians.
I have to
category.
admit, when you first did that read, I thought that was a Josh Fisher
I know.
special.
I was like, he's ad-libbing.
But that's
Do I have
fantastic.
a history of making up news on the air?
No, you don't have a history of making
Good.
up news. You have a history of being very, smart and
Oh, you have
funny
a
with
history
the
of being
things,
smart.
with
No,
the
I
things
don't
that
think
you
that's
say.
the kind of smart that he means. I think it's Alex.
I meant both, Josh.
No, I don't know.
Quick-witted.
I wish I could have made that
Glib,
up, Rob.
glib. That's
Thank
the
you.
word. Thanks,
Thank
AJ.
you.
Smug.
What smug?
Boom, right there.
Is this week over yet?
Well, I did want to mention an unusual arrest report out of Shelton that came in yesterday. On Tuesday, a man was arrested for giving a child a wet willy. On August 4th at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the Shelton Police Department arrested 34-year-old Michael Magani and charged him with breach of peace in the second degree, reckless endangerment in the second degree. Magani was released on a $500 bond. The arrest stems from a report that he allegedly stuck his finger in his mouth and then stuck it in the ear of the president. Occurred of an area Center Street in Shelton while playing with his mother. Upon being confronted by the mother and staff, the man fled in his vehicle and was stopped by Shelton police and identified as Magani. After further investigation, he was arrested. So, yeah.
It's like a walk by wet willy.
It's just a bizarre, today in bizarre news, yeah.
Right down the street from our home base.
Center Street Social.
I was talking about The Office. Of course, Kate goes right to the bar.
It's a great bar.
Margarita, what?
Yeah.
Oh, don't get Josh started. Josh had a great
you
margarita
go.
here in Manchester, Vermont, and I had to listen to him talk about it for 24 hours.
I will not mention how great the habanero margarita I had the
I'll
other night.
mention it for you.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I tried it. It was
Is
very
that place
good.
within
Really
walking
was.
distance from here?
No, sadly.
Yeah. As Stephen Wright said, anywhere is walking distance if you have the time.
Well, there's that.
So I'm kind of out of news,
by the
Kate.
way. 11:57.
11:57.
Yep.
What's the weather going to be like
71
today?
degrees. Beautiful day up here as we've got a partly sunny day, high near 74, mostly cloudy, low 52 tonight. Partly sunny, 76 tomorrow, 54 for Friday night as we all head back to Connecticut. Kind of sad to have to do that.
Yeah.
And just down the line in a little place called Shelton, Connecticut, as I try to get a forecast for you, it's not going to cooperate for me, of course. So,
well, we could talk about the Manchester sidewalk sale, Rob. That
we
started
could.
today.
I saw some of the
setup was
saw them
happening
setting
as
it
we
up,
were
yeah.
driving to the office.
The Manchester and the Mountains Regional Chamber. I'm reading this right out of the Vermont News Guide, by the way. The Manchester and Mountains Regional Chamber of Commerce is again host of the best bargain days of the year at Manchester's annual sidewalk sales. That begins Thursday, August 6th, that's today, and goes through Sunday. This is the only time during the year that Manchester retailers may display merchandise on the sidewalk near their business. Independent retailers and national brands throughout the town of Manchester and Manchester Village will participate. The sales take place rain or shine from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day through Sunday, and you can watch for individually announced specials and extended hours. There may be some early bird opportunities. We saw some early birds this morning out there getting some deals, and so certainly a lot of deals.
I saw the banner over historic Route 7A, which
Yes.
is 2 hour left, your right, and there were big banners that said, "Welcome Kate Chaplinsky." They're very excited to see Kate get shopping here in Manchester.
payday.
It is. It's just, coincidentally, it's payday, so
It all works out, doesn't it?
See, that's not what they meant about autograph signing. It's a whole different kind of autograph Kate will be giving. In Shelton today, 81 and partly cloudy. Same for tomorrow, 60 for the low, 59 for the low tomorrow, 83 for both Saturday and Sunday. Same forecast, chance of rain Monday and Tuesday, but 76 right now in Shelton, Connecticut. Coffee break time, 11:59.
Great. Well, Josh, we're going to step out in a bit, but this broadcast is going to keep going. I know Rob and John are going to step in. We have a lot more guests lined up. We're here at the Orvis Flagship Store in beautiful Manchester, Vermont, so keep watching.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
Want to get in touch with HAN Radio? You can find us on Twitter at Hersom Radio, on Facebook at Hersom Acorn Radio, or email us at radio@hersomacorn.com.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Located in the heart of picturesque downtown Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street, Colby's is the area's premier retailer for blinds, shades, shutters, and draperies, and is one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby's also carries an extensive line of decorative fabrics including Schumacher, Durley, Tebow, and more. Or browse over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kycote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersomsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors, ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season. And we are rated #1 on the Knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Market is your local destination for the finest grill-ready certified Angus beef strip steaks, skirt steaks, 100% grass-fed ribeyes, all-natural pork ribs, Arthur Ave-style kebabs, fresh-cut veggies, delicious grab-and-go salads, chilled rosé wine, and ice-cold craft brews right next door. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at stewartsmarket.com.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a radio announcer. I'm a high school football coach. And since I was old enough to stand on the side of a stream next to my dad, I've been an angler. I've fished with bait, lures, and flies. I've fished with spinning gear, fly rods, jigging poles, and tip-ups. I've stood on ice, waded rapids, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing, be it freshwater or salt, heavy flows, high seas, or cutting through a foot of ice, as much as I do. No matter what the quarry, no matter the tactics, no matter the chosen tackle. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman on HANradio.com.
Yankee Fisherman on the road, we should say. John Kovach with you Thursday. We're an hour early because we are lucky enough to be in Manchester, Vermont. We are literally in the shadow of Orvis's flagship retail store. Across the street is the Orvis Fly Fishing School. Next door to one side, the American Museum of Fly Fishing. There's a stream running behind us. And it's perfect, and it's beautiful, and it's a place you should visit. We're going to talk a lot of fishing in the next couple of hours. We're also going to talk about this area, the importance of fly fishing to Vermont, to the Manchester area, how it's woven into the heritage of Manchester, the bat and kill, this whole stretch here. We're also going to talk about the businesses. We have the Manchester sidewalk sales coming up. Joining us right now, Melissa Cochran of Olive and Ives. And this is a brand new business. You've only been open a month and a few days.
Yes.
How did the name come?
Olive and Ives is a family name.
Okay.
It sounded better than Olive and Cochran.
And it's gourmet olive oil, aged balsamic vinegar.
Yes.
How do you... These stores are becoming more and more prominent.
They are.
How is that niche? I mean, you wouldn't think that selling just that product would be enough, but it seems to be. Is there that much attraction to it?
There is. People are becoming more conscious of their health and what they put in their bodies, and olive oil is very good for you. And we have over 45 different flavors of olive oils and aged balsamics. And you can come in and try everything before you buy it.
45.
Over 45.
Over 45.
Yep.
What are some of the more exotic flavors?
My favorite is Bacludi green chili. That's an fused olive oil, and I like to mix that with fig balsamic.
Really? That's...
A little spicy, a little sweet.
And diffused olive oils are becoming more and more popular.
They are.
Or they really have been. It's kind of continue. The crest of the wave has stretched a few years because we continue to see these stores popping up. How do you go from being an emergency room nurse to running an olive oil store?
Well, it's really not that different. You would think so, but it's really not. I am a nurse because I care about people's health. Mm-hmm. I am healthy. I did a lot of research on olive oil, and I kept coming up with the same thing. Olive oil has a very high incidence for reducing strokes and heart disease. So I became in love with the products, and I wanted to not necessarily sell them, but share them with everyone. So,
are any of them locally made, or?
Well, it's kind of hard to find olive trees
Yeah, I had
in
a feeling.
Vermont,
I had a
but
feeling.
We import them from wherever the crush is freshest. So we follow the crush wherever there's southern hemisphere and northern hemisphere. Right now we just got oils from the southern hemisphere, so we have some Australian oils and some Chilean oils that we just got in yesterday.
So they're going to be fresh. You're pulling them in based on the season. So
Right.
as it's in season in the southern hemisphere, you're flying them up.
Right. So these olive oils have not been sitting on shelves for years.
And that's important for the oil, correct?
Yes, yes. And you'll taste the difference. When you come in and try them, you'll taste it.
And what about the balsamic vinegars? It's a little strong. I mean, is that an acquired taste for people?
Well, my 6-year-old likes it.
Okay.
So, the balsamics are imported from Modena. They're aged up to 18 years. They're a nice thick balsamic, and you can taste the difference in those too.
Now we're talking about the flavors, and we're with Melissa Cochran of Olive and Ives in Manchester, Vermont. I probably think more of olive oil as, say, a dip for bread or something, but or for cooking in. But are there other uses for olive oil in cooking?
Well, you can rub it on your face. That's not really in cooking, but
Well, that's not really in cooking.
I
but
suppose. It's good for your skin. It's good for everything. You can cook with it. A lot of times people think that you can't cook with olive oil because the smoke point is pretty high, but there are some that with a lower smoke point that you can use.
How do you find the smoke point? It's ask the purveyor? Or?
Yes, and we have on our varietals listed, and we can tell you
Oh.
which ones are better to cook with.
Oh, very cool. So what are your hours?
We are open 11 to 8, Monday through Saturday.
And you're at 4973 Main Street, which is in Manchester Center.
Yes.
So are you going to be involved in the sidewalk sale coming up?
We're not. We're set back a little bit in the Green
Okay.
Mountain Shop, so we're not right on Main Street. We're next to the sushi boat, which most people in Manchester are familiar with. But from the road, it's kind of hard to see us. So
Melissa, let me check in. Maybe this was asked already. Do you have a social media presence?
we do. We're on Facebook.
Okay.
Yep.
On Facebook.
Yep.
All right. Absolutely. What's the address on Facebook for folks to get involved?
It's just Olive and Ives.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I have a
Sounds
website.
like a good place.
Excuse me, Rob. Website's oliveandives.com.
Yes, it's in the process.
Well, it's a
We're
new
working on
business,
it.
and it excites us, and we're seeing it more and more down where we're from in Connecticut, and to see it up here, new businesses starting up, and it is a sign that maybe the economy is getting there, that these new businesses can sustain, and we wish you luck in this, because we're all fans of olive oil and food.
And I think it also speaks to something we talked about in some of the early parts of the week, where Manchester's really trying to be more of a mom and pop presence again, Melissa. Do you sense that?
Yes, a lot of people have come in and said, "Oh, we're so happy there's smaller stores here."
Because it really had become a big outlet town for a long time, and the outlets are still very prevalent, but there is that more smaller, personalized presence again, which is a good thing, and a store like yours with a niche presence, that really is a great thing.
Right, I agree.
No, it's very promising.
So, Melissa Cochran of Olive and Ives, good luck. Hopefully we'll see you next time we're
thank
back
you.
up here.
Thanks for having me.
joining us on an extended Yankee Fisherman from the Orvis Flagship Retail Store in Manchester, Vermont. We're going to step out, be right back, and continue to talk about Manchester, talk about fishing, talk about business, and just really enjoy the beauty that's around us up here in Vermont. You're listening to and watching Yankee Fisherman on HANradio.com, streaming live on the HAN network. The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
August means tennis in Connecticut, and the top players are going to be here. Be there as some of the world's best women compete for the title at the Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies. And the boys are back for the Men's Legends event presented by PowerShares Series with John McEnroe, James Blake, and more. Experience a variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, and so much more for the kids and family. It all adds up to one legendary week. August 21st through the 29th at the Connecticut Tennis Center in New Haven. Get your tickets at ctopen.org.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
This is Sig Hansen from Deadliest Catch. You're listening to Yankee Fisherman on HANradio.com.
And you're listening to Yankee Fisherman live from Manchester, Vermont, on the grounds of Orvis's flagship retail store. We're going to be here all afternoon. We've got some guests from Orvis coming up. We have guests from Casting for Recovery coming up. We have guests from the American Museum of Fly Fishing coming up. It's just going to be an awesome day, and it's a big weekend up here. As we talked about with Melissa from Olive and Ives, Manchester sidewalk sales are starting up. Also, this weekend is the Fly Fishing Festival at the American Museum of Fly Fishing. We're going to be talking with them about that. That is Saturday, August 8th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and some really interesting things going to be going on there. Michael Hackney of the Eclectic Angler, who builds reels, he's going to do a live 3D printing demonstration of his reels. And that's somebody now I'm going to seek out as a guest and talk to when we have the museum on. That is going to be in our second hour at 1 o'clock, which is the regular Yankee Fisherman Hour. We're in extended right now because we are on the road. Also coming up at the American Museum of Fly Fishing Saturday during the Summerfest Fly Fishing Festival. Ray Plumley, who's a master tyer, he's going to demonstrate the state fly of Vermont, the Governor Aiken. Number of things, and we're going to talk to them about that when they come on. We're going to talk about the Orvis Fly Fishing Schools when they come on. If you haven't been here, it's really an incredible store. They really just, it's got a very rustic look to it, and there's just a lot going on that's not the store. Like to our right is a pond with some giant trout in it, all of it explained. There's a stream behind us that extends that you can see the students at the school casting when they're learning. And I took the Orvis school up in Mount Snow years ago. They have clothing, men and women. They have the home decor department. It's a big store. It's not overwhelming, but there's a big choice there, a big selection, and we thank them for having us. We're within sight, by the way, of the Orvis Rod Factory that we're not allowed to go in and take any photos of. They do tours at 10 a.m. daily, we've learned, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But no cameras allowed because of the proprietary nature of fly rod design, etc. So we've got some big guests coming up. We're going to talk a lot about Manchester talk a lot about just this area, the Green Mountains. I mean, we're staying at the Wilburton, which last night did a vegetarian farm-to-table dinner. It was phenomenal. It was delicious, and I'm really not a vegetarian diet aficionado by any stretch.
Nor am I.
But it was good. It actually was very, very good.
The bigger question is, did Marty dance?
Not that I.
He did. Oh, Kate says a little bit.
Yes, he did during the. Yeah, it's kind of mandatory.
Oh, okay.
You have to put some effort into it. It's not.
Well,
you're not going to win, so you think you can dance, but, you've got to move a limb a little bit and, do what you can do.
Well, your potential next guest and I also found a special guest in the parking lot, one who was on with us yesterday. We could tell you about that when we get a chance, though.
Well, let's do it. Why don't you want to step out and reset?
Sounds good.
Let's do that. We're going to be right back with more Yankee Fishermen live from the Orvis Flagship Retail Store in Manchester, New Hampshire on HANradio.com, streaming live on the HAN network.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332 and online at stratfordsmile.com.
Ever wonder why a story becomes news? Find out each Friday on Behind the News on HANradio.com. We'll bring in the newsmakers from around Connecticut and the journalists who cover them. Who is making the news? What did they do? Where did it happen? When and how did that story unfold? Find out on Behind the News, hosted by Kate Chaplinsky, John Kovach, and myself, Josh Fisher. Fridays at noon on HANradio.com.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersumsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
Hersum Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to a special Yankee Fisherman live from the Orvis Flagship Retail Store, Manchester, Vermont. John Kovach with you for this special. Yeah, I won't. Direction from behind the scenes. Rob Adams and his son Sean joining us. Thanks for sitting in, guys.
Thank you.
So, what are your thoughts? I mean, you're not really a fisherman.
No, I'm not. But Sean more so. Sean, I think, is interested in it.
A small bit. I remember every time we were to go camping, fishing was one of the things that we were to do.
Yeah, he was, I would say 6. He and I went camping in Pennsylvania, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania to be exact, and we got, I think it was a Transformers fishing pole, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and he, we threw it in the water to see what we could grab. We didn't catch anything, but
mostly just rocks.
Yeah, we did catch.
Yeah, that's gonna happen when you're fly fishing. You're gonna catch trees too.
But I will say that, there was almost a little bonding thing there because he was able to kind of hold on to the pole, but I was helping to guide it and cast it with what little knowledge I have. So there's that kind of father-son thing there, that connection.
Yes.
So, there really was, it was kind of nice for us there for a while, and we haven't done it a lot since then, but you always, every time fishing comes up, you always kind of say, you remember that, and you always kind of think about doing it again, even when we were talking this morning, right?
Yeah.
Well, is it something that you think you want to learn more about? Because we could talk more about it. We could try it out a little bit. I mean, we could go and walk through the inside of the store. There's all kinds of stuff inside. I mean, really, it's almost overwhelming when you get in there to the fly area and the colors and the sparkle and the different sizes and flies ranging from, several inches long to you could lay 3 or 4 of them on a dime. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, just amazing stuff in there. The different rods, the different reels.
Well, the fish out behind us are thankful to him to begin with, and to A.J. Simonowski and me, because we've loaded him up with quarters for fish food, and he's been feeding the fish for a couple of hours.
Yeah, that's very cool. They have like a dispenser in there, like a gumball machine, and you can buy fish food and feed the fish. And these are big fish. Like, not every trout that you catch is going to be the size of the ones that are swimming next to us right now. I'll tell you that right now.
Now, when you threw the food into the water, tell folks, because people don't understand, what happens?
I would throw it in, and sometimes it was kind of sit there to like 10 seconds maybe before one of the big ones would come up and kind of slowly get it. But then, like, there's a small one you come up and just kind of do like a boomerang.
And they fight for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
and you watch them. You watch them quickly surface and bloop right back down they'd go.
Yeah, I saw like two like right up against each other trying to get to the food.
Now, last night, you and I were over at our inn. You can't call it a hotel. You can call it an inn, a villa.
It's an estate,
it's an
really.
estate. It really is.
It is an old estate. The history is fascinating.
And while everyone else went off to the wonderful vegetarian dinner, the farm table dinner that was just everyone's raving about how great it was, you and I kind of hung out. AJ was hanging out as well. You and I took a walk, looked at some of the art at the estate. And all of a sudden, we heard Melissa Levis's voice, one of the innkeepers. We could hear her voice.
Yeah.
Which Jetson the dog us yesterday.
Such a wonderful dog. So immediately we start talking about Jetson. And all of a sudden, we look to the left, and there he is.
Yeah, Jetson was just kind of running around in the parking lot. Two things happened in a span of a couple of seconds. First, Jetson the dog was spotted, and then seconds later, John drove up. I don't know if there's a parallel there. I'm just saying. I'm offering the facts here.
It is what it is.
But, we snagged Jetson, got him back to Melissa, and I got a big thank you, and we felt good there for a moment.
Yeah.
And Jetson was on with you guys yesterday, and just an absolutely gorgeous blonde Cavalier King Charles.
Yes,
a Spaniel.
Cavalier
King
right.
Charles
Cavalier
Spaniel.
King Charles. Yep.
There's so many words in that. You're always worried about having it in the right order.
I'm impressed. I couldn't remember that.
Well, my parents had one for years. Wonderful, friendly dog. They named him Checker.
I love it. That's just phenomenal. By the way, since I don't know if we'll talk to you before we say goodbye tomorrow here we'll be back in Manchester up at the office tomorrow. But if we don't have you on again, give me your thoughts about this week. What's been your favorite part?
It's hard to pick a favorite part because it's all just been a phenomenal week. I've been loving my week here in Vermont.
It's hard to pick a favorite part because you haven't fly fished yet. Just saying. Just telling you that.
But
just stating the facts.
If I really did have to pick something, I would actually have to pick the estate that we're staying in.
Really?
My reaction to actually seeing the estate is so amazing. Just the size of the Strawberry Hill, it's called. The
villa.
Yeah, the house that we're staying in.
Now, John wasn't there when we first got to the Wilburton, but that moment of walking into the villa, because AJ and I got there first, we got the keys, Marty and the rest of the gang followed, and we all went to the villa, and it was that feeling of, wait, we can pick our room?
Yeah.
There was there was a little bit of a lottery at that moment where everybody just kind of walked around and
See, I don't see it as a lottery. I see it as being similar to when Sean threw the fish food in. That it was kind of was it more similar to that?
I was trying to be nice, considering the room at the top right of the stairs. There was a little bit of a problem there. I thought there was going to be some violence, but fortunately, cooler heads prevailed.
We were able to get a very nice room.
We got a very nice room at the bottom of the stairs, in fact.
Yeah.
And
if you were just walk right into the house, we'd be the first room on your right.
Yep. No, we've had a great week up here for sure, and I think our next guest is on site. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm getting a nod from Jess.
I think we step out.
Yep.
But just to wrap up the Wilburton, if I had to compare it to something, and you've been there as well, it really reminds me a lot of Waveney House in New Canaan from the outside.
Yes.
Almost similar in that architecture.
Yeah.
That brick look with it very, very turn of the century. I don't want to say Gothic, but it's got very different angles to it, very different curves to the porches. Just a beautiful, beautiful building.
I have posted some pictures throughout the week, and we've been posting all kinds of pictures on Instagram and on Twitter using the hashtag HANVT, which, considering we're going to try to do this more often, I'm sure Josh, Kate, myself, and everyone else will continue to use that hashtag as we go along. But if you follow that hashtag or go follow us at Hersum Radio on Instagram or Twitter, or me at DBLE5 on Instagram, you can see all the pictures that at least I've put up. But there have been all kinds of pictures.
There's a lot of pictures out there.
Yep, including the inn and a bunch of other things.
And I got to tell you, as you look around, they're just all more beautiful than the next. We're going to step out, take a break, and talk to some guests. Special edition.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersumsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kycote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Market is your local destination for the finest grill-ready certified Angus beef strip steaks, skirt steaks, 100% grass-fed ribeyes, all-natural pork ribs, Arthur Ave-style kebabs, fresh-cut veggies, delicious grab-and-go salads, chilled rosé wine, and ice-cold craft brews right next door. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at stewartsmarket.com.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, plus top superstars of women's tennis and the Men's Legends event. The 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies, August 21st through the 29th. Get your tickets today at ctopen.org.
Does advertising on hanradio.com work? Ask and within their new
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
Back to a special expanded version of Yankee Fisherman live from the Orvis Flagship Retail Store here in lovely Manchester, New Hampshire. I knew I was going to do that.
What?
Manchester, Vermont.
There you go.
Manchester, Vermont. We are surrounded by mountains. You can't talk about and sufficiently describe how beautiful
It's
this
so beautiful.
area
Yeah,
is.
I don't get tired of looking at it.
Not
It's
at
gorgeous.
all. We've talked a lot about fishing. We're going to talk more about fishing, but you really can't talk about this area without talking about the skiing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kate, introduce our next guest.
Yeah, well, we're joined right now by Meredith Morin of the Stratton Mountain School. Meredith, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Please tell us a little bit about the school.
Well, it's an independent school, and we serve kids through their senior year and a post-grad year. We also have kids in 7th and 8th grade who come to us. We only have about 140 kids, and about 20 of those just come to us in the winter. And those tend to be our younger kids who are trying to figure out if the skiing life is one for them. And we're considered a ski academy. We have 5 disciplines, and every kid who goes there is a kid who specializes in one of those winter sports.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's amazing, you've had 42 Olympians?
Yes, over the course of the school's history, so dating back to 1972, we've had 42 Olympians, 66 Olympic team placements with people going to the Olympics multiple times. So it's really impressive. And it tends to be in the 5 major sports that we have: alpine skiing, Nordic skiing, snowboarding, free skiing, and freestyle.
How does someone get into the school?
Well, most of the kids that we have are already, all of the kids that we have are already, let's take alpine skiing. You've grown up loving it, and then maybe you've done a weekend program at your home mountain, and you're just looking for something more. And that's what we provide. And we have, in addition to the Olympians, which is such an impressive thing, our college placement record for such a small graduating class. We had 23 graduate last Dartmouth, couple impressive.
Yeah, what really sets the school apart? I mean, it is such a small community, so
Yeah.
I imagine there's so much attention to each student.
There is. So that individualized attention, whether you're on the ski hill or in the classroom, is really, I think, what sets us apart. You're definitely not going to get lost there, and you're going to get an individualized program from day one until you graduate. And our alumni are phenomenal. They stay in touch with us and love it there. It's their family.
So it's an academic program and a skiing program for the full-time students?
Yes, it is an independent school. So think of like St. Paul's or Exeter. We do a similar thing. We provide an educational program. We just change our schedule around a bit to allow for rigorous athletic training. So in the winter, the kids ski in the morning and come to classes in the afternoon.
Wow.
And so we're able to do that. And then we have a ton, as you were saying, a ton of individualized attention. So when they go away on an extended trip, they're in touch with all of their teachers every day and getting their work done.
That's really incredible.
That really is.
And then going to Harvard after.
Going to Harvard, yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a team that competes that represents the school?
It's actually, the competition is more individual based at
Okay.
the levels that these kids do it. A lot of independent schools, compete against each other, team-based kinds of things. Then the kids who come here into other ski academies are at a level where it's individually based. But they really support each other as a team as well, though.
Very cool.
Now, Meredith, this is such a wonderful community, and we've been hearing so much about community. Does the school try to be, part of that as well?
Absolutely. I would say at any given year, our breakdown is about 35 to 40% day students. So the communities that are in the surrounding area know Stratton Mountain School very well, and they're a part of us, and we're a part of them. And whenever possible, we love to give back. We do community service days. We did one at Hildene a couple of days back. The kids love being a part of this, and as you were just saying earlier, you can't get enough of it. It's so beautiful.
You really can't.
Yeah.
So you have kids from all over?
We do have. So last year we had Turkey students, but
Are they skiing program?
Well, very lucky. But younger. We've been at it longer here in the East, and a school like Stratton Mountain School, we have such an incredible academic record, so that's the part.
Very cool.
Now, Meredith, how can people get more information about the school?
You can go to our website, www.gosms.org, or you can just give us a call at 802-286-1886 and 297-1886. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
We'd love to hear from you.
Microphone off.
All right, great. Well, Meredith, thanks so much for joining us. We really loved hearing about the school.
Great, thank you.
We are going to step out, take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more guests as Yankee Fisherman comes to you live from the Orvis Flagship Retail Store in Manchester, Vermont. You're listening to the HAN Network streaming live.
Going fishing too. Bet your life, your sweet wife's going.
Microphone cued. Next.
Moves and inlet. Port the move. The streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are simply closed. Place to shop. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersumsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, plus top superstars and Legends event. The 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies, August 21st through the 29th. Get your tickets today at ctopen.org.
Hersom Acorn and HAN.com.
The retail store for Orvis here in Manchester, Vermont. We're talking fishing. We're talking Vermont. We're talking about the area around it and local businesses. Kate, we've got a guest from one of the local businesses here.
Yes, Katie Lilac of The Loft, which is on Depot Street in Manchester. Katie, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
So, Katie, tell us a little bit about what I think is great about Manchester Center is there's a lot of outlets, but it doesn't look like an outlet mall. It's like beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. And tell us about the store. Tell us about the Loft store.
Well, we love our store. We really try to make it more boutique-y, and we're totally hands-on with our clients, and we try to dress them from head to toe.
Who is the typical Loft client?
It varies. The young girls love it, and
all
I've
ages.
dressed a 92-year-old woman in skinny jeans.
Oh, that's great.
wow.
I love that. I bet that was a fun experience.
It was.
And so, tell us right now, I know sidewalk sales start today, so are you guys doing anything special for that?
We are very busy. We have a lot of special promos going on. Our shorts are $12.99. We have jeans that our new fall has come in, so we have buy one, get one, but we always have great sales. So
anytime you come in, right?
Yes, anytime. We have a great petite section. We have 2 floors,
nice.
and everyone loves it.
Now, what do you carry? Are these boutique, small designer items? Is it a mix?
It's a mix. We carry, we're really considered more business casual. We have dresses, lots of different dresses, scarves, we carry jewelry, just everything.
What's really big right now and popular with the shoppers?
Right now, everyone's looking for a good deal, so they're buying their shorts and dresses constantly, a lot of dresses. But now we're getting the back to school.
Oh, yeah, back
Kids
to
are
school
coming
shopping.
in.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of teachers. We have a lot
right.
of teachers that shop
I'm
the
sure
Loft.
of that. Is that the timing of the sidewalk sale really coincide with the start of the back to school kick?
Oh, it's perfect right now. It's busy as you can see. I mean, there's a lot of people in town, and everyone is.
And it's nice
in
and
out.
walkable, too, so that's what's great about it. You know, you can just walk in right off the street.
Right. It's beautiful.
Especially if the weather stays like this.
I know.
Oh, it's perfect.
Absolutely perfect. So, where can we find the Loft?
We're located at 301 Depot Street. We're near like BCBG, J. Crew, the cosmetics store. It's within walking distance to all the outlets.
And do you have an online presence? Sorry, Kate.
No.
No.
That's all
That's
right.
okay.
But I think what you said is great because, you know, everyone here is really community oriented and very helpful and kind. And, you know, you guys say you give that personal attention when customers come in, which is great.
Right.
That's important. I think people like that. I think
do.
they've gotten to where that's become the draw.
I think that's the most important thing that we can do, you know, especially in a small area, is help someone, you know, clothe them from head to toe. That's what they want.
Right. So if you're in Manchester, Vermont, check out the Loft.
Great. Thank
All
you.
right. Katie, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
All
Yankee
right.
Fisherman coming to you from outside the Orvis retail store. We want to take a quick break and come back. We are going to step out. We'll be right back with more Yankee Fisherman. We've got guests lined up. Our second hour just loaded with talk about fishing from here at Orvis. You're listening to what Yankee Fisherman on HANradio.com, streaming live on the HAN network.
Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural architecture. Expansive art galleries and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Market is your local destination for the finest grill-ready certified Angus beef strip steaks, skirt steaks, 100% grass-fed ribeyes, all-natural pork ribs, Arthur Ave-style kebabs, fresh-cut veggies, delicious grab-and-go salads, chilled rosé wine, and ice-cold craft brews right next door. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at stewartsmarket.com.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, plus top superstars of women's tennis and the men's legends event. The 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies, August 21st through the 29th. Get your tickets today at ctopen.org.
Does advertising on HANradio.com work? Just ask Coastal Orthopedics. They ran spots with us, and within 24 hours they had 21 walk-ins and 8 calls to their new immediate care center. To advertise on HANradio.com, call 203-417-5199 and ask for Marianne Hersom.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Ever wonder why a story becomes news? Find out each Friday on Behind the News on HANradio.com. We'll bring in the newsmakers from around Connecticut and the journalists who cover them. Who is making the news? What did they do? Where did it happen? When and how did that story unfold? Find out on Behind the News, hosted by Kate Chaplinsky, John Kovach, and myself, Josh Fisher. Fridays at noon on HANradio.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to her the Darien Line. Don't subscribe.
Hersom HANradio.com.
Orvis Flagship Store in Manchester. And images is
not that long ago. Being the
go back there
weekend, there are times
a little
too.
We've had that
days or 3 with people. I mean,
oh yeah.
Which than the sea.
spend weeks up.
For the folks of what I'll call going on shopping here in Manchester Center, which technically we're in Manchester Village. Out, 1,000 yards away. Obviously Bennington, there's the Bennington Battle Monument that we climbed up. Sean and I climbed up, which I keep saying climb. It was an elevator lift being climb. And I mean that's just a beginning. You've got Burlington you can go up to. You've got Lake Champlain up there.
Bennington, where you were the other day.
Right, yep. You go across the line to Brattleboro. You go up toward, the rest of the state of Vermont as you start climbing up toward Woodstock and other parts of the state. So it's a good state. It really is. It's small, but it's fun. We didn't even mention Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
Couple of great museums up near Burlington. In fact, I can't. Jeez, the names are jumping right out of my mind. But good times in the state.
When I got to the mountains.
Mount. Everyone.
Look at along roads. Our hotel. It's beautiful now. Get and I'm not a ski. Some of these hills. It must just be incredible.
It is. And for us, as we came off Route 7 Tuesday afternoon to come to the Wilburton, and you're driving along through these neighborhoods, perfectly fine two-lane roads, and all of a sudden the road begins to narrow, and you're seeing narrow and low. We got to drive under Route 7, a low underpass. No, covered bridge, one lane.
Was
cool?
I was right behind you guys.
Yes.
That was really neat.
I have to find time to run back and take a picture of that covered bridge. And Sean was just, he rolled the window down, he's looking out. But there's a sign up over that said if you drive any faster than a walk, it's a $5 fine or something like that.
Something great.
It's just tremendous.
That's terrific.
It really is just it's a tremendous place that still has a lot of rural feeling to it, a lot of country feeling to it. And look, the big stores are very convenient. There is something to be said. When we were in Manchester yesterday and I needed an adapter, there is something to be said for that electronics store.
Right.
Fortunately, there was an electronics store
Correct.
here. That's wonderful.
There aren't many mom and pops electronic places anymore.
No, and that's one. They have national products.
Right.
I'll say it, Radio Shack. They have some old Radio Shack products that were needed, but you're not here to run the Target. You're just not.
You're not, and there's no need to. We are going to step out, come back, start hour 2 of Yankee Fisherman. A lot of fishing to talk about. Live from Manchester outside the Orvis Flagship Retail Store. Live on the HAN Network.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersumsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kycote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, river Warhol to expertly tended gardens. There's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Market is your local destination for the finest grill-ready certified Angus beef strip steaks, skirt steaks, 100% grass-fed ribeyes, all-natural pork ribs, Arthur Ave-style kebabs, fresh-cut veggies, delicious grab-and-go salads, chilled rosé wine, and ice-cold craft brews right next door. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at stewartsmarket.com.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, plus top superstars of women's tennis and the Men's Legends event. The 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies, August 21st through the 29th. Get your tickets today at ctopen.org.
Does advertising on HANradio.com work? Just ask Coastal Orthopedics. They ran spots with us, and within 24 hours they had 21 walk-ins and 8 calls to their new immediate care center. To advertise on HANradio.com, call 203-417-5199 and ask for Marianne Hersum.
Hersum Acorn and HANradio.com.
Just a beautiful afternoon in Manchester, Vermont, as we're a little past 1 o'clock on this Thursday. I'm Rob Adams. John Kovach and Yankee Fisherman will return in just a moment. Some great guests and some great displays that you can't quite see yet because we're right now. So, John, Yankee Fisherman, more of that continue as we return to Manchester just outside of Orvis. We continue on at 1:04 on HANradio.com and streaming live with live video on the HAN network.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-69.
Players are gonna be here. Be there as some of the world's best women compete for the title at the Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies. And the boys are back for the Men's Legends event presented by Power with John McEnroe, James Blake, and the Haven.
In children characters. Celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to a special Yankee Fisherman live from outside the Orvis Flagship Retail Store in Manchester, Vermont. John Kovach with you. We're going to talk fishing in this hour. We are not only in the shadow of the retail store, but we're 100 yards from the American Museum of Fly Fishing. Kathy Komar, the director of that, joining us. Thanks so much. It's nice to finally meet you. That's the beauty of these remotes, is I meet people who I talk fishing with all the time.
It's great to finally meet you, too.
Now, you've got your fly fishing festival coming up tomorrow.
We
or
do.
Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Saturday. Tell us what people can expect there.
Well, it's a full-day event for us on site at the museum. It's from 10 to 4, and you can see a lot of different demonstrations. We have casting workshops. We have a lot of fly tyers. We have somebody demonstrating the Governor Aiken bucktail streamer.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I heard about that and then saw it in the flyer. How did that become the state fly of Vermont?
You know, it seemed, I recently met the person who got it through the legislature here in the state.
Oh, no, this is official. I thought this was other. Oh, wow.
No, this is official. It was just passed last year.
Oh, wow.
But he got it through very quickly. There's a lot of interest in heritage in the state of Vermont, and fly fishing is a large part of it. And this person did the research into the development of the Governor Aiken streamer, which is a wet fly that goes underneath the water, and he was able to just demonstrate how important it was to the culture and history of Vermont, and got it through the legislature as the official fly fish.
How important is the culture of fly fishing to this area?
It's very deeply rooted. By the middle of the 19th century, this area was a tourist attraction specifically for fly fishers. You know, of course, we had other people who were using spinning equipment, but a lot. It was mostly promoted with fly fishing, and the Orvis really was the family that really pushed it with the tourism. Charles Orvis's brother was the one who built and developed the Equinox Hotel here in town before Charles Orvis even opened his store making rods.
So really, Orvis is a keystone to the fly fishing attraction that is the Bat and Kill in Manchester.
Absolutely. Here in Manchester, as well as the rest of the state, going into New York State, the Bat and Kill goes into New York State and goes into the Hudson River. So they had a large economical impact, positive impact in this area.
Does it retain that? Is it still the draw?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think most of the people who first and everybody the museum is, and they always send everybody next door to come take a look at the artifacts.
And that's got to be a real boon to you, to be right next to the Orvis store, that people can come and they can just a few steps away, visit the museum.
It is, and that was actually one of the reasons we purchased the property next door. Our property before this one was about half a mile up the road on the same road here, Main Street in Manchester. But in 2000, the opportunity came up to purchase the 5 acres next door to Orvis. It has a casting pond, has a little stream going through the back of it, and being next door to Orvis, it was just a no-brainer for our board at the time to purchase the property, renovate, and move in, and we opened in 2005.
And that's a super move. Now, you brought some items with you, some displays. Tell us a little bit. I see some play.
Is a in the second case, are of early 19th century, and then some of them are well into the 20th century.
And some of those you really can't figure out how anybody was able to work since really just look at just how do you do this? I wouldn't even know where to start on some of those.
You know, the people who are into reels are engineers. They have more, and if anybody who and his
there's such real. It truly is music to the ear of an angler. And there's a beauty in fly tying, and in front of us you have a display of works by Jack Gartside, and primarily saltwater flies. We have some wet, some bait fish examples. Gurglers in here, it's a topwater salt fly. This is tremendous. Were these all tied by Jack?
They were, and Jack died a number of years ago, and a group of his friends contacted the museum pretty soon after his death just to say that they felt that his work needed to be preserved, which they were absolutely right. The gurgler is one of those saltwater standards that everybody has. Thank you.
You get it into the water, and you've created that of life that you need. Fish. Now you're also at the fly fishing festival on Saturday, taking a look to the future of reel making. They're going to 3D print a reel.
Yes, this is really exciting. We are so happy. We published an article. We have a quarterly journal, and we published an article in our recent journal about a man who makes reels using 3D printer. And so he is actually going to be here on Saturday with this printer printing reels so that people can see how he puts a three-dimensional functional reel together.
That is just incredible, and that's reason enough to go.
It absolutely, and I think it demonstrates that the sport is still evolving, the equipment is still evolving, and history is being made today.
And the history of fly fishing, past to future, at the American Museum of Fly Fishing, right next to Orvis. What's the address, Kathy?
We're at 4104 Main Street, which is Route 7A in Vermont.
Saturday, August 8th, the Fly Fishing Festival, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fly tires, exhibits, the 3D printing of a reel. Can't wait to have you back on, and cannot wait to be back up here. Kathy Komar of the American Museum of Fly Fishing, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop, coming to you live from the Orvis Flagship Retail Store in Manchester, Vermont. We'll be right back.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with your print or digital subscription for just $45 a year, or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersumsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kycote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Market is your local destination for the finest grill-ready certified Angus beef strip steaks, skirt steaks, 100% grass-fed ribeyes, all-natural pork ribs, Arthur Ave-style kebabs, fresh-cut veggies, delicious grab-and-go salads, chilled rosé wine, and ice-cold craft brews right next door. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at stewartsmarket.com.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, plus top superstars of women's tennis and the Men's Legends event. The 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies, August 21st through the 29th. Get your tickets today at ctopen.org.
Does advertising on HANradio.com work? Just ask Coastal Orthopedics. They ran spots with us, and within 24 hours they had 21 walk-ins and 8 calls to their new immediate care center. To advertise on HANradio.com, call 203-417-5199 and ask for Marianne Hersom.
More Yankee Fisherman continues right after this on HANradio.com and streaming live on the HAN network.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, coming to you live. Basically from the heart of Orvis. We're outside the Orvis Flagship Retail Store. There's an outlet a few hundred yards behind us, and across the street is one of the Orvis fly fishing schools. Joining us is Orvis fly fishing instructor Peter Kutzer. Peter, thanks for taking a few minutes to join us on Yankee Fisherman.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, how many of the schools do you guys run?
Oh, so I want to say, the number escapes me for the moment, but I believe we have about 14 schools across the country. We also have 11 specialty schools, which are schools that also involve fly fishing, usually 2 days of guided fishing after the school.
Oh, very cool.
All across the country. And we have we do private lessons as well at our locations here in Manchester, Vermont, and Millbrook, New York.
Very cool. How long have you been an instructor with Orvis?
I've been an instructor with Orvis since 2001, so I've been here for quite some time, and I love it. It's a great area. Our school's now next year we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary.
Oh, that's a reason to come back.
Yeah.
That's definitely a reason to come back. Really love the area here. Do people come to this school because of the heritage of fly fishing in Manchester?
Absolutely. This area right here, I'll be totally honest, this is the best fly fishing school in the world.
Really?
In the world, absolutely. Manchester, Vermont, or this area, the fishing can be kind of challenging on the Bat and Kill River. Everybody knows that. But if you really want to learn how to fly fish, there's no better place, I honestly think, in the world than right here in Manchester, Vermont.
What makes it so?
The quality of the instructor staff that we have here. I mean, we've been doing it for 50 years now, and that's what we do. A lot of schools, they're great. There's other schools that are fantastic across the country, but a lot of the instructors are also guides. The instructors here, that's all they do. They're instructors, and they're teaching 7 days a week.
And do they teach just in this area?
Some of our instructors move around, like myself. I travel around to all the specialty schools. I work here at the schools in the summertime, here and there. And then, but we do have a few instructors. Truel Myers, he's our head fly fishing instructor for our 2-day schools. He travels down to Florida, so he's working at the Ocean Reef Club in Key Largo, and he'll travel down there. We have schools in Monticello, Florida. We have schools in Millbrook, New York. We have one instructor actually up here right now from Millbrook, which is great. We have a lot of our instructors travel around. So,
do you have specific saltwater and freshwater schools?
Yes, we do. We have a school in Newport, Rhode Island, for a saltwater school. We have a saltwater school in Key Largo, Florida. We have a saltwater school in South Carolina, and we also have a few saltwater specialty schools.
Very cool stuff. Now, how does one go about becoming an instructor for Orvis?
Well, with the fly fishing knowledge, I'll be honest again. With the fly fishing knowledge, that's something that we can always teach. It's the instruction knowledge. You know, they have to be a good instructor. It has to be somebody who likes to teach. I have a education background. I went to college for environmental education, and I've always taught things. I taught snowboarding, mountain biking, all sorts of things. And fly fishing was just something that I've always loved to do. Fell in love with it. A friend of mine while I was in college said, "Hey, why don't you get a job at Orvis working in the schools?" I took them up on it, and they haven't been able to get rid of me since.
That's awesome. There's worse fates. So we are actually going to teach someone to fly cast. Peter's generously agreed to do a little demo, and Sean Adams is going to join us. Now, Sean's done a little bit of spin fishing.
Okay.
But we're going to see if we can get him interested in fly fishing because, he just hasn't dove into the money pit yet that is fly fishing. So Sean's going to come over and join us, and we're going to walk over to the pond, and he's going to do a great job.
Yeah, great.
All right, so Rob's going to grab a wireless and come over. We're going to make our way over to the pond.
All right, here we go. All right, so I will bring things back in here wirelessly as we move over toward John. And away we go. All right, Sean. Your thoughts as you get ready for this big moment.
I'm nervous.
Really? You're nervous? Yeah, a little bit. All right. How far are we going, guys?
Right here is just fine.
All right.
Sean, my name's Pete. Nice to meet you. All right, Sean, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit about this fly rod. Okay, I'm going to show you how to string it up, and then I'm going to show you how to make a couple casts, okay? So when we're fly fishing, we got a couple different types of line on this reel. You can see this white line, then this kind of green and orange line, okay? That green and orange line, that's your fly line. Connected to the end of that fly line, you have this clear piece, and that's your leader, okay? And think of your leader kind of as the invisible link between your fly line and your fly out here at the end. A fish could see that pretty easily. You can see that pretty easily, right? Well, that's why we need that leader. Now, when we're fly fishing, you saw some of these flies. You notice how they're just tied out of fuzz and feathers. They don't really have much weight to them. If you held them in your hand and a little breeze came up, it'd probably blow it away, right?
They're pretty much just like feathers.
That's it. They're just feathers. So when we're fishing with a fly rod, we're actually casting this line. And this line pulls that fly through the air. So a bigger fly, actually the trickier it is to cast. So I'm going to pull off some line off of this reel. And I'm going to pull it off to about where that color change is, right about there. I'm going to take that line, bend it in half, and now I'm going to start going up through all these guides. By bending this line in half, this just makes it a little bit easier to see, a little easier to do, and if you just so happen to drop it, it opens up and catches, and it doesn't fall all the way back down through. Just makes life a little easier. Okay.
Sean just got excited. You could tell the HAN radio drone is about to go skyward here, didn't you?
Yeah.
I noticed your head turned on that one.
That's pretty cool stuff. Those drones are pretty wild. All right, so now we got this rod strung up. Okay.
All right,
So
you
now
jump
I'm
in.
just going to step on this side of you, okay? And I want to show you a couple things about casting this fly rod. So you casted a spinning rod, correct? Yeah. Yeah. Do you like to spin fish?
I don't really remember the last time that I did it.
It's been a little while, but you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So
Even if you don't catch anything, it's a lot of fun.
well, I think if you don't mind not catching fish, you're gonna love fly fishing. No, I'm kidding. Fly fishing is a great way to catch fish because the neat thing is you can imitate everything that a fish eats with a fly rod. Okay, even those tiny little bugs, think of them like Lay's potato chips. All right, they don't eat just one. They're eating lots of these potato chips, and you can now sneak in that little plastic potato chip or that feather potato chip, if you will. So when we're casting with a fly rod, the big difference is we're going to make two casts, okay? All we really got to do with this rod is do two things. We got to move it, and we got to stop it. That's it. We're going to stop it once behind us. That's going to make our back cast. Then we're going to stop it once in front of us. That makes our forward cast, and then we're going to put that line back down on the water, okay? So when you hold that rod, you want to hold it with your thumb on top, okay? Kind of nice and relaxed. And I'm going to have you start by holding that line underneath your finger right here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're going to start with our rod down here. Now, have you ever roasted marshmallows?
Yes, I have.
Do you like roasting marshmallows?
Yeah.
Have you ever burned one?
I have.
Once?
Once.
Just burned it to a crisp?
Not that bad.
Not that bad. Have you ever taken that marshmallow and flung it off at the end of that stick?
No, I have not.
Have you ever tried that with maybe a grape on a stick or an apple or anything like that?
No.
You get the idea, though. Well, we want to do that twice, okay? Once behind us, once out in front of us. So when we're casting, we're going to take this rod, we're going to move it, and then stop. And there goes the line. We wait for a second, then we're going to take that rod, and there goes the line. Now when we're casting, we don't want that line to touch the ground behind us. So we're going to move it and stop, move it and stop. But we got to wait just long enough for that line to straighten out before we go forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
All right, we jump back in. John, so far so good?
So far, so good. When he falls in love with this, just, be ready to start spending more. I'll show you where all the stuff is at Orvis.
And you're going to help get me a raise, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What I do.
All right, Sean's ready. For those listening, here's our first cast.
That's your lay down. We want to put that line down on the water.
All right.
That's what a fish like, right?
Put the mic, put the mic by him.
Forward cast, then we lay it down. And just put your thumb right up on top there. Now I'm going to stand over here. And I want to put my glasses on. I want you to give it a shot, all right?
All right, here goes Sean. You can do it, bud.
Good. Okay. Now, you got that marshmallow on the end of that stick. I want to see you fling it off a little bit more aggressively back here. So give it a good little flick behind you. Good. Good flick out in front. Not bad. Now flick it even more aggressive.
All right, Sean's trying here.
He's doing okay. He's doing okay.
How'd you learn?
I kind of toyed with it a little bit with a guy I coached with and actually went backwards. That was a very good cast, by the way. Guy I coached with, but I did it backwards. He was a saltwater fly fisherman. So sound casting this big old 11 weight Orvis, which is kind of like a tree limb. Then I got an opportunity to do a press trip. They did one of the schools at Mount Snow and took my father up there. And we did at Mount Snow, did the 2-day school and really learned there.
All right, the casting continues off to where we're standing. In fact, Ian Murrin is filming it for us now as we continue. We're still on Yankee Fisherman here outside Orvis in Manchester Village, Vermont, to be exact. Manchester Center, just a little up the road.
Here comes another one.
Good job, Sean.
For the record, his father cannot do this.
Now you're going to teach him to say, Daddy, I want a Helios, right?
I don't know what that is. I just know it sounds expensive.
Very. We'll go in and look at him.
Oh, that's what worries me.
I'll catch you when you fall.
Trust fall, which we've been talking about a lot this week up here.
But he's of that perfect age, I think. Confirm this with Peter, of being, a teen who can, preteen, teen. He's right at that age where it's a good time for him to learn this, if it's something he wants to get into.
And he's got the perfect teacher. He really does, because the metaphor flows to a year-old like that. It makes all the sense in the world.
That's why he's a good instructor. And he said he comes from an education background. And there's different metaphors that you can use. Healing, dropping, too. All at the abrupt. And Sean of this. And here's the beauty, too. Sean, by getting this lesson for, Sean won't develop any bad habits. I know I have a boatload of bad habits that I work on losing. Sean is learning this from the instructor right off the bat, which I think is important, which if I had to do it all over again, I would probably do.
It's funny, you bring that up. I know so little about fly fishing, John, that I didn't know that there could be bad habits that are developed. Where in a golf game, you turn your wrist ever so slightly, boom, you're sending the ball off to the left or something like that. What are the bad habits?
Oh, it's the same thing in this. This is almost similar to a golf swing. You can go back way too far. You can go back. You don't want to go back, have the line on the water behind you. The fight to get it back up just takes all of the momentum out of it. What you want to do, we just had a fish rise for something right there, which was quite cool. You can bend your wrist too much. You can drop your elbow. There's a lot of them very similar to the golf swing that you and I are both so hopelessly mediocre at. But there are definitely bad habits there that you can learn. And guys, the other thing that guys do is fall in love with distance.
He is getting some really great shots.
And distance may not help you. You may not have to cast as far as you think you do to get the fly to the trout.
Yeah. That is a perfect golf metaphor.
Well, it is. I mean, it's the same thing. Guys fall in love with distance. I'm going to show everybody how far I can throw this.
I'm going to show Marty that I can hit the ball 250 down the fairway.
Exactly. I have to. I have to hit it longer. I have to cast it long. He cast bridge. I got to cast over to the bridge. Well, guess what? If the fish is on the near side of the bridge, what's the point? And that's what you have to. And Sean's really getting a good lesson here. I'm envious of Sean. And this is, excuse me. But he's learning. And he's learning from the best.
No, he's getting a great lesson, and there are some things. I'll use baseball metaphor. There are things or golf. A well-struck hit in either baseball or golf. It sounds good. And there was a moment I heard Sean do something, and again, I'm a novice. It sounded good. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it has that. It has that sound. There are multiple trout rising they're being fed by a boy, and they're coming up and breaking water for it. It's really very cool.
Now I'm sure he doesn't expect to catch anything, and there's nothing on the end of the line.
If he
so
catches something, I will be very, very impressed.
Right, but at the same time, there's something to be said, because I know my son. There's something to be said about I can tell his confidence is building here.
Yes, and it is, because he's learning how to do it. He's seeing the results. And the instructor, Peter, is building him up, and it's the right way. And I'll tell you another thing. This is not the easiest day to learn to cast. We kind of really put Sean in a spot here, because as this wind picks up, it's getting more and more difficult. So it would be a difficult day to cast with first time. It's really going to be.
If you're not watching us on the live stream, if you're listening on HAN Radio, it is clouded over here in Manchester with some dots of blue sky off to kind of the northwest of our perspective, looking back over toward Hoosick Falls, New York. But Sean is continuing to do his thing here and learn from Pete, and seems like he's catching on to it pretty well for the most part, despite what Dad's credit card is thinking about.
Yeah, well, you've got to cross that bridge at some point. But he really is. He's taking to it.
But he's going to a lot of American Doll exhibitions.
All right, here's another cast.
Yes. See, because you want the loop out. You want it parallel to the ground behind you, then come forward, and then as it gets parallel in front of you, there he lays it down. That's a good kid.
Now, the thing to understand about my son, folks, is that Sean is not, and by his own measure, he is not an athlete. He is not known for being athletic. And there is a level of athleticism to this that I don't think he knew he had in him.
Well, I think it's good. And there is a level of athleticism to this. That's why I enjoy fly fishing. There's people that think that fishing is sitting in a chair with a beverage and a cigar and watching a float go up and down. That's not my kind of fishing. I want to be out there doing things. I want to be moving. I want to be doing this. And he's doing a very good job here.
He is, as we continue on Yankee Fisherman here on the HAN Network and HANradio.com. Not that I'm hosting the show, but I'm kind of interviewing the host at this point. Let me jump in here for a moment.
Hear that little snap?
How's it going?
It's good. Good.
You're enjoying. How is he as a pupil at this point?
Oh, he's doing great. He's doing a great job. Yeah, he's making some really nice casts. Kind of tough conditions. It's a little windy out today. You know, that makes it tough to learn how to fly fish, but he's doing a great job.
All right, keep it up. I don't want to interrupt.
So when you're casting, they
continue on. While they continue on, it might be a good chance for us to take a break and wide. It's beautiful. They're casting along. Sean is getting his lesson. John comes back in. I'm not hijacking it from him. We'll continue on with more Yankee Fisherman right after this on HANradio.com and streaming live on the HAN Network.
Yeah, we could do if you want. The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersumsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top culture and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kycote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate. a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Market is the nation. Delicious grab-and-go salads, chilled rosé wine, and ice-cold craft brews right next door. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at Stewart's Market.
Plus, top superstars of women's tennis and the Men's Legends event. The 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies. August 21st through the 29th. Get your tickets today at ctopen.org.
Does advertising on HANradio.com work? Just ask Coastal Orthopedics. They ran spots with us, and within 24 hours they had 21 walk-ins and 8 calls to their new immediate care center. To advertise on HANradio.com, call 203-417-5199 and ask for Marianne Hersom.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
Welcome back to Yankee Fish, presented by the Dock Shop. We are coming to you live outside the Orvis Flagship Retail Store in Manchester, Vermont. John Kovach with you. Sean Adams is continuing his lesson behind us with Orvis instruction. He's learning how to cast. We are joined right now by casting Wendy. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you're based here in Manchester?
We are. Our national office is right here in Manchester, and we actually started here in Manchester, the organization.
Were you around at the start? Were either of you?
I was not.
Nor
Tiffany
was I.
Tiffany was not. It started in 1996, and it was started by a fly fisher woman and a breast reconstruction surgeon.
Which was always, I found fascinating from the outset, was the discovery that the motion of fly casting was really one of the top preferred exercises for women coming off of that surgery.
Absolutely.
And the fact that that was the reason behind it. But now we've, in talking to Whitney Milhone in the past, that it's gotten to now the therapeutic end of it too, the just being in the outdoors. Now, were you, either of you, attracted to casting for recovery through an interest in fly fishing?
For me, it was because I am a survivor, and with Orvis just down the road here, of course, we're all pretty much interested in fly fishing and what goes on here, and they are one of our sponsors. I do want to give them a plug. And I can't speak for Tiffany, but
with the team of on staff. Now it's
great. More people will get involved, and also to see fish programs.
Under 2015, we've got 40 retreats across the country, and each retreat is limited to, or let's just say that we found that the number of 14 participants works with the medical component and the psychosocial component. And so we've got the 40 retreats across the country, and each one has 14 participants.
And so much of it is psychosocial component. Not so much the fly fishing, but being out in nature, you're away from everything, and you're with people who have had your experiences. I was explaining to someone the Casting for Recovery program earlier before coming here, and I said, I said, if I knew somebody who was struggling with breast cancer, I could say, oh, we know how you feel. The husband and sons and brothers can all, oh, we know how you feel. We don't. We have no idea. It's only the women who have experienced it, and you, thankfully, get them together and get them to a place to each other if they choose.
And Sunday, I'll leave with a big smile and 13 new friends.
Now, these retreats are not. You need help to put these on. They cost money. There's time involved. Who are some of the big supporters of Casting for Recovery in addition to Orvis here?
Orvis, Cabela's Outdoor Fund, Genentech, Ashford Hospitality Trust, Sisters on the Fly, and I think I got them all.
I think you did. And you also, I've seen requests for donations of flies for volunteers. Is that something that, say, a fly tire, a fishing club, a TU chapter could help support Casting for Recovery by donating items, rods?
Actually, Orvis helped us out. They had given us a product donation, and I needed help loading the reels. So I came in, and they generously spent the morning with me. And when I had returned, we had large UPS boxes full of brand new rods from a gentleman actually in Canada who had sent them, learned about us. So these beautiful rods, they send us flies, you name it, they send it. And if we can't put it to good use, we have a national auction in December online. And, we'll use the items there.
What big events are coming up in the near future?
We have online auction, but we also have a national fundraiser called Cast One for Hope that is held in early October in Hamilton, Montana, and it is a one-day, one-fly event on the famous Bitterroot River.
A lot of interest in that. What fly would you choose? You thought about that?
I haven't really thought about it. I've been here in Manchester and fly fishing on the East Coast, and I think the one fly that I know the best is the woolly bugger, but I'm not quite sure what would do well in Montana, and I'm sure that since every angler that registers will have their own guide, and will be helped by them to pick the absolute perfect fly for the best catches.
Very cool. Tiffany, you got a choice?
I have the best luck with the elk hair caddisfly.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
That's my go-to because I for one, I think you can't do anything wrong with it. If it sinks, it looks like a caddis. If it skates, it looks like a caddis. If you really can't. Probably go-to. Good luck doing it. If you do it, something's wrong. Yeah. How can a woman get involved, or somebody who might want to suggest Casting to Recovery to a loved one? How can they put somebody in touch with your programs?
We've got a website, castingforrecovery.org, and then we also have an 800 number, which is 888-553-3500. And also, by calling us here in the office, we will answer any and all questions. It's Tiffany and I there. And we'll apply with them or fill out the application right there on the phone.
Fantastic. And anything we can do through Yankee Fishermen and through our papers and websites and our broadcast, just please let us know, because we really, really support what you guys do. Tiffany Green, Wendy Golick of Casting for Recovery, thank you so much for joining us on Yankee Fisherman on HANradio.com. Let's check in with Rob Adams, who is back over there with the casting lesson.
And all seems to be going well back here. In fact, Pete has a trick up his sleeve, guys, and so we're going to see something a little different now. Is Sean's telling me how much fun he's been having doing it. So I'm fascinated to see what we've got now as we'll spin back in and rejoin the conversation here with these guys.
Two good
good stops, okay? So we're trying to get a good stop on our back cast and a good stop on your forward cast. Now, if I was to stand right here, from how far back I go on that back cast stop to how far forward I go on that forward cast stop, it's only about as long as that rod right there. So let's imagine, see the tip of the rod right there? Right there? If I take this rod, well, there we go. A little bit more aggressively, jump out. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the back cast. See how that line jumped right out, but notice I stopped right there, then right to there. That's your fly cast. See how small that move is? Not too far back, not too far forward. Now, that's your low cast. This is an even lower cast. Right here, this is a higher cast. Up here. It's the same thing. In all those directions. So I want you to stand right here. You're going to point the rod right.
All right, with all that said, now Sean's going to do it. And we'll step away to allow him to do it, plus to allow Ian Murren to do his thing, and I'll let you jump back in.
Oh, teaching him the take back?
Teaching him, yeah, some really, right, the back cast and some of the lower casting.
Yeah, okay, I see what he's doing, his sidearm. So that would be if he were in a situation where there were branches overhanging.
Yeah.
Which you're going to run into.
Sure.
And I actually do the sidearm cast a lot around southwestern Connecticut. But what he's doing, we were talking earlier about the golf similarities. Now look how so often you lay clubs down to check your aim. That's what he's done here with his other rod.
Gotcha. You're continuing to listen and watch Yankee Fisherman on HANradio.com and streaming live video on the HAN network. It's still John Kovach's show. I'm just kind of helping him out here.
No, it's appreciated, and we want to thank Casting for Recovery. We want to thank Peter
great spot.
from the Orvis Fly Fishing work. And I got to say, I was surprised that they brought exhibits with them, and it was really great stuff. It was really kind of Christmas-like.
Yeah, I can imagine. Again, I'll use the Cooperstown comparison. Be like the Hall of Fame showing up with a few pieces from that museum.
Yeah, I saw him coming in. I'm like, wait a minute, they brought stuff?
Yeah, I saw that too.
It's just very cool stuff.
Yeah, really cool. This has to have been a great hour for you. Certainly both hours, but something about this one seems a little special.
This one's been a little more fishing heavy. This one's been kind of what Yankee Fisherman is about. This one of the best segments I think we've had here, teaching Sean to cast, and again, indebted to Peter for doing this.
I'm stunned because we first proposed this to Sean at about, 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning, and he really, not that he and I weren't arguing, but it was kind of like pulling teeth. Sean's not big on the unknown, and I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into.
I'm sure he didn't.
And then now he keeps telling me how great it is.
Good. That's good. Well, I've got stuff. We can take him out.
All right, I'm hearing perfect back there, so that's good. It's a little past 1:53, by the way, on HANradio.com on this edition of Yankee Fisherman, and of course presented by the Dock Shop. Don't want to forget those folks.
No, and we thank them for their support. See, he's got it now where his back cast, it's coming straight back, and it's staying parallel to the ground. That's what he wants. You don't want to go too far. You don't want to be premature. He's getting this right where we want to go. You want to step out, we'll take a break.
Yeah.
And
come back and put a wrap on it.
Put a wrap on Sean's lesson. You're watching Sean Adams learn fly fishing. We've talked to Casting for Recovery. We've talked to the American Museum of Fly Fishing. And we're just loving it here outside Orvis's flagship retail store in Manchester, Vermont. Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on HANradio.com. The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the Dock Shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait,
tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the Dock Shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Avenue. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 24 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332 and online at stratfordsmile.com.
Ever wonder why a story becomes news? Find out each Friday on Behind the News on HANradio.com. We'll bring in the newsmakers from around Connecticut and the journalists who cover them. Who is making the news? What did they do? Where did it happen? When and how did that story unfold? Find out on Behind the News, hosted by Kate Chaplinsky, John Kovach, and myself, Josh Fisher. Fridays at noon on HANradio.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to secure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com.
And back here on Yankee Fisherman, coming up on the end of our couple of hours together with John Kovach. I'm Rob Adams, and just about 1:57, I think, give or take. And I'm getting a thumbs up from Josh Fisher. Thanks, guys. And Josh and AJ have been great on the other side, and the whole crew here. This was not the easiest of our setups this week, but boy, this has been a great, great day.
No, we have never tried this before, and it's really, and we thank Peter Kutzer, I'm pronouncing that right?
Yes, Kutzer, yep, that's correct.
For stepping in here and helping teach Sean, and we thank Sean for being a willing participant and learning something new, and he's really taken to it. Now, let's just say hypothetically Sean falls in love with fly fishing here this afternoon. What would you recommend for what weight rod should he get?
So a great starting rod, your first fly rod is typically a 5-weight. That's the most common size. It's a great all-around trout rod. You can use it for small bass, panfish, trout in just about every river in the Northeast, with the exception of really, really small, tight rivers. But there's a whole host of rods out there, and rods are going to range in price. I usually recommend a good rod that has a warranty. I mean, that's the big thing with a lot of fly rods. They get shut-in car doors. They hit ceiling fans, they hit trees, it happens. Get a rod with a warranty and you're going to be in good shape. Very, very rarely does the rod actually break on a fish, I'll be honest. I get a lot of people say the fish was this big, and I'm like, yeah, right, sure.
Yeah, they all are, yeah. Tell me about it. And then, so a 5-weight, weight forward line?
Absolutely. A weight forward fly line is without a doubt the easiest one to cast. A weight forward fly line, I would get like kind of a medium action rod. Medium action, or a lot of rods these days are fast action. Basically, it's just a stiffer rod, essentially. But those weight forward fly lines, probably 8 to 9 feet in length is a great rod to start with. Weight forward fly line, decent reel. I mean, you could get a decent setup for a couple $100, $200. And the nice thing about fly fishing is or fishing in general, is the only thing you got to really pay for after that is your license.
That's it. It's the equipment. Once you invest in the equipment, and it is an investment, but once he starts doing it, well, then he's going to need a 3-weight, and then he's going to need an 8-weight because he's going to want to go for smallmouth. And you guys are close enough to the Long Island Sound. He's probably going to need another 8-weight to go out for stripers and blues. And
well, that 1 8-weight will do both. I mean, that yeah. Yeah, 1 8-weight will do both. I mean, if I was to only pick 2 rods to cover everything here in the Northeast, I'd get a 5-weight, probably in an 8-foot 5-weight, and I would probably get a 9-weight, and that's going to cover all my striper, bluefish, false albacore. and those are the two rods of choice. But an 8-weight would work just as well.
I have a 9-foot 8 weight. I have a 9-foot 5 weight. I have a 7.5 3 weight.
Perfect. You're set up for everything you're going to encounter in the Northeast.
Exactly. Now, if somebody wants to get the instruction that you just gave Sean here, how do they get in touch with the Orvis Fly Fishing Schools?
So if you want to contact the Orvis Fly Fishing Schools, we have our number online for our schools across the country. But if you're interested in coming right up here to Manchester, Vermont, you can call area code 802-362-4155 or area code 802-362-4604, and that's how you can get in touch with the guys right here in our Manchester Fly Fishing School.
And I will say that Millbrook, New York school, it's not that far away from where Sean lives.
It's a great gift. I've done the school, and it is a tremendous experience. I did Mount Snow about 15 years ago.
Right up the Taconic Parkway from him and I. So, and for me, very quickly, thank you so much for this gift for him. This was wonderful. He really I can tell just by watching him. It's been phenomenal to watch. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Well, one of the things that I said to Rob when you were teaching, Sean, I said, he is learning from an instructor right off the bat. He's not getting any bad habits. And Rob was kind of surprised that there were bad habits that you could get in a fly cast. Well.
John, let's go shopping.
All right, let's take Rob Adams in and get Sean a fly rod. We want to thank everybody at Orvis and everybody in Manchester who welcomed us here. We want to thank the American Museum of Fly Fishing for bringing exhibits over, Casting for Recovery, Peter Kutzer for teaching, Sean Adams for being a willing student, and you. We'll be back next week with another episode of Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on HANradio.com, streaming on the HAN network.
See you tomorrow from Manchester.
Fishing and the baby gone fishing too.
Hersom Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
Yankee Fisherman is presented by the Dock Shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Want to get in touch with HAN Radio? You can find us on Twitter at Hersom Radio, on Facebook at Hersom Acorn Radio, or email us at radio@hersomacorn.com.
Microphone live next. 5.